This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. It is a Wednesday, September 8th. We've made it to the middle of the week. I'm Tori here with my good friends Al and Erica.
And friends we are.
Friends we are. Let's get started. A lot of you are talking about this. Workers removed one of the country's largest Confederate statues today. This 21-foot statue of Robert E. Lee towered over the main boulevard in Richmond, Virginia since 1890. The debate over removing Confederate monuments really heated up following the death of George Floyd last year. And DBL Nation, we want your input on this. We want to know what you think. Should the statue have been removed? Simple question, lots of complicated answers. Yes or no. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Love to hear your opinions. Miss Cobb.
Well, I mean, we've had this conversation for years at this point, and I always think when we have statues, they're a symbol of celebration and someone who we should be actually thinking very highly of. And this is a person who defended slavery. That was the entire thing for the Confederacy. So pro-slavery legislation, ideology, and the idea that the statue would be looming over everyone just has never sat right with me. And I think it's beyond time that it's removed. And I also want to give a shout out to a young woman, Ziona Bryant, who doesn't get recognition very often, but she has been at the forefront of having these statues removed, as well as other activists and civil rights campaigns. Wow. And her name has been completely erased from the conversation. So these young activists who have taken to their social media, who's really corralled people and made them understand why these things were so important. I just want to give a little bit of praise to her as well.
I like that shout out. Al, I got some comments for you that are on either side. The Mike variant says Richmond still has 1 in 4 living in poverty. Glad they're woke, virtual signaling politicians have their priorities straight. Someone says, Fuzilla, erasing history makes you doomed to repeat it. But Oxford's Not Brogue says no one is erasing history. Robert E. Lee will be long remembered without a statue. What do you feel about those people that say you're going to erase history? And I remind you, in Germany, in Nazi Germany, there are no Nazi statues of Hitler or anything. And I promise you, Germans know what happened in the Holocaust. They're very well aware of their history. They just have made it a rule to not prioritize someone that terrorized their country. Good.
I just wonder, in any nation's history where they have statues of like people traitors that have committed an insurrection against that country and then had hundreds of statues put up, in their honor. Very proud statues, Erica, with people on horses looking forward, pointing down, some with slaves around the statues, actually. So when we start talking about, should these be taken down, I think the bigger question is, when were they put up? And they weren't put up directly after the Civil War. They were put up around the, in like the late 50s. Civil rights era is a way to intimidate black voters and to kind of rally the South. So when we start talking about like when we take them down, we should start asking why they were put up and when. And I think that'll answer a lot of our questions. And for people that are worried about erasing history, we don't hear that argument when we start talking about critical race theory, which it's so interesting how that argument kind of weaves in and out.
Erica's turned all the way around in her chair.
It's really interesting.
Very fascinating discussion.
Life is interesting.
Isn't it, though? Let's go to our DBL Nation poll. All right, 35% of you say yes, should they be taken down? 65% of you say no. Interesting. Write us in on YouTube or Twitter and let us know why not. We love to get your comments in there. Well, we got some good news when it comes to Americans getting vaccinated. The CDC is saying that 75% of adults in the U.S. have received at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. But we're not so sure this next woman is among them. Check out what she did after running into a masked woman at a grocery store. Take a look.
Excuse me. I'm coming through.
Why don't you have a mask on?
Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Okay,
It's my allergies.
You
I
don't
have
know
allergies.
who's sick or not.
Wow. But on the other side of things, a substitute teacher in Las Vegas has been accused of taping a mask to a 9-year-old's face after he got up to get a drink of water and forgot to put his mask on. We have gotten so over it with these stupid masks. Like, people think they're so oppressed. It's so
they want it so badly.
Oh my God, I can't. Sorry, that's my take. Erica, what do you think?
No, it is interesting because I have noticed, depending on where I'm at, if people are like half masked, half not, or whatever the mix is, people will look at you.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me when people who aren't masked make a kind of snarky look at you for being masked.
Because we're trying to protect them almost.
I didn't look at you.
Right.
Why are you staring at me? Like, I'm the least problematic person in this situation, and I wasn't even thinking about you. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. People are looking for conflict. They're just trolling for it.
Is that why this mask, in your mind, Al, agree, is that why masks have become this hot button issue? In 1918, they didn't have this issue, but is it because we're looking for a fight?
I mean, you can look at 2016. People didn't get upset when you covered your mouth when you sneezed or coughed in 2016. It's the same premise. It's keeping the virus from spreading or potential pathogens from spreading. But people didn't do that because this wasn't a political issue then. Back in the day, if you coughed or sneezed and you didn't cover your mouth, you would be chastised by everyone. That was the one time as a country we were all united. We didn't want somebody to sneeze without covering their mouth. Those are the days of yesteryear, and now people are just anti-masks, and it's an interesting place to plant your flag as a person. Some people have died in the streets for women's rights and fought for equality or risked their lives to go up to the moon, and other people don't want masks. So I guess we're all just kind of, when we all get to heaven, we'll have different levels of conversation.
Neither here. A little column A, a little column B.
Purgatory is going to be
Why
so
are you
complicated.
here? Masks. Why are you here? Women's rights.
All right, before we go,
we got
a couple of viral videos of two men who've been accused of faking getting hit by cars. Y'all got to see this. So cameras on this Tesla caught a man who you can see him falling over and appearing like he's hurt, even though the car never actually hit him. Police have arrested him and say he admitted to making the whole thing up. And check this one out. A man very dramatically appears to fake getting hit, by a white van. He even rolls sort of Mission Impossible style over the hood before falling to the ground. He gets an Oscar for he committed.
Yeah, well, this has happened to me when I was living in Chicago. Yes, so my girlfriend is an attorney, and she had to drop off paperwork at the courthouse downtown Chicago. So she's like, can you please just hop in the driver's seat and just drive around? So I made 2 or 3 turns, and when I got to the second one, I'm underneath the L, so on Lake Street, and I was stopped. And as I was proceeding to go, I had barely even touched the gas, and this guy came and he did that roll. And she had this brand new vehicle, this beautiful brand new vehicle, and he rolled over the side of the front of the hood, and I jumped out of the car because I didn't understand what was happening. And this older black man walked up and he goes, "Baby, you get yourself back in this car." And he opened up the car door for me, and he's like, "You get back in, you drive away." And he's like, "And you get your blah 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 up from off this ground." And he's like, "You didn't hit him. You just keep going, baby.
Good witness.
Just keep going." I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes."
What a witness.
I feel like we're gonna find out later that old black man didn't exist. And he was just it was like the premise of some bag of
video game when they're like, "Go this way." Coming up on DBL, the hilarious Tisha Campbell Martin tells us all about her new movie role as a villain, and an outburst on an airplane you have to see to believe. What led to this guy growling mid-flight? I'm sure you've seen it. We're going to talk about it.
Closed captioning provided by
we'll talk about it, but we can't stop talking about Erica's story. It's interesting that there are two kinds of people. There are the people that will do the Erica Cobb roll over the car, not trying to hurt themselves. But then there are people that will legitimately drop something on themselves to break something to get those. So it's so interesting.
That hung out outside the W on a Walmart because it was leaning, and he was waiting for the W.
I remember that.
To fall. That could be fake. That could be a fake story.
No, I remember reading that a couple years ago.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy? People do crazy things.
I mean, if you think about daytime television, which we're a part of, and just being at home, which I've been for 15 years as a comic, I feel like the commercials have changed where it used to be do you want to go be a truck driver? Like those used to be those kind of work, and now it's like, did something happen to you at work? Did you fall? And now it's the hidden, you know, here's your big cash settlement. We get money. We get our clients paid. And I mean, that's every other commercial now, whereas it did used to be like, do you want to be, I remember it used to be gunsmithing. Booksmith, whatever.
How old are you, dude?
Remember that? It was
Horse and carriage around the corner.
It was those colleges that kind of did everything. It was like librarian.
Yeah, vocational stuff.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
ITT Tech.
Personal injury.
Welding.
People will definitely
Welding's a great job.
go for the quick payoff, but it's just, it was crazy to me how somebody else peeped the whole thing and was like, just keep going.
Right.
You know, I mean, and this guy, and he did the whole, I mean, he was on the ground. I was more scared that he hurt himself for some other reason. I didn't even realize at the time what was happening.
I know you must have in your head been like, I wasn't even moving and this guy's rolling across.
And it's like, it was her car, it was her brand new car. So then I'm like, did the car, is there, you know, scuff mark or something on the car? It was just, it was a lot. But people go to extreme measures.
Get that payday.
Extreme measures.
Welcome back to DBL. It's that time of the week where we share some more airline madness video. I can't believe we have a segment.
I thought we were out of them.
Nope, we have a full segment now for this. All right, up first, a Las Vegas man has been arrested for intoxication and disorderly conduct after he yelled and growled at passengers on board an American Airlines flight. It really does almost look like something out of The Walking Dead. Take a look.
You can't hold us.
Okay, we're not.
We're out on the ground, sir.
We're not
Sit.
on the
Yes,
ground.
we are.
Okay,
We're only grounded. Sit. You see anyone else getting up? Sit. You sit down in that seat and you stay. Don't bite it. Really?
Tori, I think what's most remarkable is the person next to them held the camera really steady. Like, I would have been terrified, and he was like, look, that's somebody's dad.
That is
And
so
Erica, I'm not trying to be classes here. That dude was in first class, bro.
He was in first class.
There's crazy people in all classes.
Yeah, but
What
I
are you
mean,
talking
to
about?
pay an extra $800 to be crazy, that's another level.
That just shows you that that's somebody you do not want to encounter because they clearly have nothing to lose in their minds.
That's like the captain is now coming out. Just so you guys know, I watched the end of this video. 2 cops were there at the end of it to take him out for intoxication. But I just think what's so interesting is, you're right, Al, everyone stayed calm.
Everybody's
around
extremely
him.
calm.
I don't think it's calm.
It's
I
just
think it's
fear.
like when someone's escalating, especially in an airplane in the air,
You're
like
trapped.
your recourse is very little. So I think the best thing to do at that point, I get very calm when things are going chaotic around me because I'm trying to evaluate the situation. Like, how do I stay safe? How do I make sure that I'm not, escalating the situation more? So when you see things like this, and I think this man should be sued by any passenger who wants to actually sue them. Like, the idea, you're
Emotional
basically in a
distress.
hostage
Yes,
situation
yes.
and you're acting a whole fool. Like, no.
That's why I just don't like the intoxication, because you could have that at a street fair.
Sure.
You could get that arrest. We are all in the air. Your actions could affect 150, 200 other people. There should be another charge. This is a separate thing.
I think they should be banned, in my opinion. Now, a few videos have gone viral showing what people are wearing or getting in trouble for wearing on planes. So check out this woman. She was filmed walking around a terminal recently in just a bikini and a face mask. She was wearing a mask. Meantime, this woman from a viral TikTok video says she was kicked off a flight because her outfit was too revealing, even after she put this shirt over her sports bra. So lots of videos like this have gone viral showing what women get in trouble for wearing on planes. So the question is, what is appropriate? Is it your right to wear what you want, or should too much skin get you booted?
I don't have a problem with people dressing how they want to dress on a plane. Me personally, I layer because it's cold.
It's always cold.
It is. I don't know who's showing up in a bikini.
Exhibitionist, Erica.
But would you be fine sitting next to, be honest, someone in a full bikini on a plane?
If that's what he wants to do, as long as they don't get out of their chair and start threatening people, I don't care what you have
but what
on.
if they get up out of their chair to go to the restroom and they go right past you? Like, you're getting a lot of skin and side cheek.
Yeah, you do. And you get that on the beach too. Yeah,
but they're not right in front. It's like you're making, Erica, I'm sorry, you're making a decision for me too to make me uncomfortable. Look, I'm fine with people being scantily clad, but when you are in something like a bikini or something like your skin is exposed, we're in a contained area, there's no real science behind it, but it's just like you shouldn't be. Would you be cool with that at a restaurant?
Well, no, but the bikini is extreme. I'm just saying for like a lot of this has to do with body shaming.
Amen.
The bikini was just, she was very thirsty.
That's an aberration. I agree with you.
Yeah,
she was super thirsty. But I agree. It is shaming a lot of women who are sometimes curvier.
But what about the woman with the sports bra, no matter what shape she was in?
I don't have a problem with that. I think the only reason why she was pulled aside is because she wasn't a size 2, to be honest. You see that all the time.
You really do. You really do. Let us know what you think. Coming up on DBL, stay tuned because our interview with Tisha Campbell Martin, she's telling us all about her encounter.
Guys can wear tank tops.
Oh, God. With a bear at a grocery store. You haven't been marginalized, sir. We'll be right back.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
buy my shoes, figure out whether we're gonna serve chicken or fish by tomorrow. Tomorrow, chicken or fish, chicken or fish. Can I get some help, please?
If you've ever said, "You go, girl," or "Damn, Gina," it's because of the 90s hit sitcom Martin, the muse who became everyone's favorite girlfriend. Earlier, we caught up with Tisha Campbell Martin in today's Chatting with the Stars.
All right, Tisha Campbell. Now, we all watched you go off to college and House Party 2, and then you also slayed your role as a student in Spike Lee's School Days. But now you have a son in college. So get real with us. What freaks you out the most as a parent when it comes to college?
You know what? It's knowing that I made him as independent as possible. You know, you really want that and confident as a child or as a young person. But, you know, he's newly in love. So that makes me really happy.
Oh.
Tisha.
Because I really like her and she's very nice.
There you go.
There we go. Tisha, we talked about your crazy encounter with the bear at the grocery store. Now that we have you here,
that bear gets more coverage than me.
What were you thinking? You got to let us know. What were you thinking when that bear walked down the aisle?
Let me tell you what I was thinking, daggone. So the week before, I had just gone to Arizona for some work, right? I ran into a bobcat, was running from that. I ran into some coyotes, a tarantula, and some jabalinas. I didn't even know what a jabalina was, but apparently it's pork, okay? 20 of them. And then I go home thinking I'm cool. The first day, avoid the crowds, get there early. And of course, I run into a bear in my local grocery store. Now, I looked calm, but I was not calm. I was trying, my father, thank God, taught me how to play chess, so I was trying to think my way out of the store. Because to me, where there's a baby bear, there's a mama bear somewhere. So I was just thinking my way through.
Talk about your girl, Tashina Arnold. Now, you guys met in audition when you guys were kids, like from the
11
beginning.
and 12 years old.
Wow.
Yes, we were 11 and 12. Yeah.
And you guys obviously have been cool ever since. So I have to ask, as somebody, and I know we've all auditioned, do you guys ever go after the same role? Because I remember seeing the same people at the same auditions.
Yes, all the time. But, you know, that's what gravitated us to one another, is that when we first met, you know, we would find out about auditions and we would call the other one, did you hear about this one? Well, come meet me and let's crash it. You know, and if it wasn't me who got the role, I wanted it to be her and vice versa. So we always operated like that. And we always operated on being, you know, authentic with one another, holding each other accountable, not being a yes man, supporting one another. That's the kind of friend that you would really want for a lifetime.
That's true empowerment. Your new movie, we got to talk about it, The J-Team. It stars YouTuber JoJo Siwa, who got her start on Dance Mom. So talk about your role and how much dancing did it require?
Well, I didn't have to do a whole bunch of dancing, right? But I did have to come in and be I'm playing the choreographer, Coach Poppy. And this is the first time, you guys, that I got to play a villain.
Oh,
in
nice.
in film. So being able to be the Cruella de Vil of it all was exciting. It was fun. I got to mess with the kids. Michael Lang, the director, left the camera open and was like, I don't know what Tisha's gonna do, so let's just keep the cameras rolling.
Cheer up, this is gonna be fun, as long as you follow my rules.
Like, the theme of the movie is really about being your authentic self, not dimming the light. And I was a newly single mom, so it hit my heartstrings. And then JoJo was being her authentic self in the media at the time. And so there was so much focus on that. I wanted to support that. And Nickelodeon in general wanted to make sure that this was a very diverse film, so everybody is represented. We even have a trans teen, the first trans teen in a musical.
Amazing.
Being represented in this film. So it's inclusive, it's fun, it's dancing, it's music.
I can't wait.
We need that. We need that in, you know, coming out of the isolation of it all.
Thank you for joining us, Tisha. You can see her DBL Nation in the J-Team starting September 3rd on Paramount+. Thank you, Tisha.
Thank you, Tisha.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it.
Yes. DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. If you're a parent, listen up. This latest scam could be coming to you next. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So the IRS has a warning for parents who are getting the expanded child tax credit. They say scammers are sending fake messages via email, phone, or social media telling parents there's a problem with their tax credit and asking for personal information. To stay safe, here are some things to know. The IRS will never contact you via email, text, phone call, or social media. The IRS will never leave you a voicemail. The IRS will never ask you to verify personal or financial information. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Those are good things to know.
Yeah, and also just if it sounds like you've won a contest that you didn't enter, just because you use Venmo, here's some money. It's like,
yep, it's not real. But we're real, and we'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees, factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
Here's Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the country's largest Confederate monuments is gone now. Was taking down the Robert E. Lee statue the right move, or did history just get erased? The in-flight meltdown you have to see to believe. Plus, too skimpy for the sky? White passengers seem to be wearing less and less on airplanes. In today's True Crime Chronicles, the mystery surrounding an Ole Miss student's death. What caused the killer to pull the trigger?
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
And back to the ballroom with a former Spice Girl, a Real Housewife, and Lori Loughlin's daughter. Is this the most controversial season of Dancing with the Stars yet?
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, September 8th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. So a lot of our viewers, a lot of you are talking about this. Workers removed one of the country's largest Confederate statues today. This 21-foot statue of Robert E. Lee towered over the main boulevard in Richmond, Virginia since 1890. Now, the debate over removing Confederate monuments really heated up following the death of George Floyd last year. And DBL Nation, we always want to hear what you think. In your opinion, should the statue have been removed? Yes or no? Go to dblvote.com, weigh in. What do you think, Al?
I mean, a lot of people, you know, we hear this, it goes both ways. It's like, look, he was an insurrectionist. He fought against our country. They tried to secede from the Union. He killed a lot of Americans. He should not be celebrated in this way. Other people say you're erasing history, but I've often found that the people that use the whole erasing history argument are also against critical race theory, which is about trying to teach history. So it's this weird thing where we kind of want to teach history when it's advantageous to our point, but when we want to start talking about how we got to this point in 2021, we go, let's literally not teach slavery in school. So it's a weird dynamic, Tori, to say the least.
Yeah, it is really weird. I just like to say that, like, when I went and visited Germany, in Berlin and Munich, which was weird for me because as a Jew, I was kind of super nervous, to be honest.
That's honest.
I'll be honest. My mom was like kind of weirded out. They have 0 statues of anything to do with Hitler or Nazis. They've made that a rule. But let me tell you something. Those Germans know about World War II and what happened. It is taught in their class because they realize Berlin school children didn't know. So you can teach history by not elevating someone on a pedestal, on a horse, who didn't become a traitor to our nation. That's how I feel.
Well, and I think that's the key word, elevation.
Right.
We have to remember why these statues were put into place and when they were put into place. It was an intimidation tactic. Yes. It was about basically a PR revamp for the Civil War and why it was fought to begin with.
Right.
They wanted to take the slavery out of it because people started to understand that the slavery was just icky to people.
Bad for business.
But I really want to take this moment to highlight someone. Her name is Ziana Bryant. Ziana was 15 when she started the petition to remove Robert E. Lee statue in her hometown of Charlottesville. Now, she is passing the mic today to Race Capital, who is actually putting boots on the ground and doing amazing work in the initiative, and she wanted to give that amplification to the natives. But I think it's very important because often, and I've had a couple times to speak with Ziana, and the interesting thing is, while she was only 15 when she started this petition, she was essentially outed. Her full name was given by a news source without her knowledge, and she was very much harassed for a long period of time.
Couldn't imagine.
And she is so dynamic. I follow her on social media because she is doing really great things, and your name will not be erased from this story, Ziana, and we celebrate you as well as Race Capital and all of the people who are putting in so much effort in order to make a more progressive society.
And let me just, really powerful, I'm glad that you brought her up. I want to just bring in some comments really quickly. From the Mike variant, interesting name, on Twitter, Richmond still has 1 in 4 living in poverty. Glad their woke virtual signaling politicians have their priorities straight there. And then Oxford's Not Brogues said no one is erasing history. Robert E. Lee will be long remembered without a statue. All right, and it looks like 63% of you say no. Should the Robert E. Lee statue have been taken down? You say no. Wow. Okay, so we've got some good news when it comes to Americans getting vaccinated. The CDC is saying that 75% of adults in the U.S. have received at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. But we're not so sure this next woman is among them. Check out what she did after running into a masked woman at a grocery store.
Excuse me, I'm coming through.
Why don't you have a mask on?
Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Okay,
It's my allergies.
You
I
don't
have
know
allergies.
who's sick or not.
But on the other side of things, a substitute teacher in Las Vegas has been accused of taping a mask to a 9-year-old's face after he got up to get a drink of water and forgot to put his mask on. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Both situations are unfortunate. What would you say, Al, especially being a former teacher?
You know, you should not touch a student in any way, and to publicly humiliate a child like that for doing something as simple as forgetting to put their mask on, which every adult has done to do when they, run out of the building to go to their car for a second. It just happens.
Yeah.
So again, I think that teacher had an agenda, and obviously this woman coughing is just a different level of foul, and I don't understand. I would have never seen this coming, Sam. If this was 2014 and somebody was just coughing over the bananas at the grocery store, think about how insane that would look. But for somebody to do that now, where people's lives are literally, I mean, have to look at you, Sam. It blows my mind.
I don't think people realize when they post memes about masks being ridiculous or COVID isn't real or it's overblown, they don't realize the suffering. They don't realize, even though my brother has 2 new lungs, they don't realize that he's I can't even formulate thoughts right now. I really can't. Just know, if you doubt it for a second, go to the ER for a day, go to the ICU for the day, talk to a family member. Erica lost a family member.
What your emotion is completely real, Sam, and that's the thing. It's the desensitization, because people are only ready to address things as they are being affected by them. I can have a civil discourse, I can have a back and forth with someone when you're respecting the fact that while you're telling me all of the things that you believe to be facts, and I'm doing the same with you, but you aren't negating the fact that I have seen real loss in more than one way. Because think about the stats of suicide as well in the past year and a half. People have been affected by this in so many ways. So the moment that you diminish your pain, your family's pain and trauma, in order to prove your point, we have nothing to talk about. And that's just where we are.
Well said. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys, we wanted to actually ask you, if you did go to dblvote.com and wrote that you don't think the Robert E. Lee statue should be taken down, we'd love to hear from you on YouTube or Twitter or the DBL app, or email us, info@dailyblastlive.com. What's the reason you think it needs to be kept up if, for instance, in other countries, they can still teach without having the statues be up?
Tori, I thought Erica's point was really interesting, which I'll admit I did not know. Michael Dean, our producer, told me. And I think that just goes to show that we need critical race theory. The fact that I obviously knew that Robert E. Lee was a bad man, right? But I did not know that when his statue was erected that they did it specifically for a PR, like rebranding, so they could somehow twist it to, this is a man that's a hero fighting for our states' rights, not this was a man that fought for slavery. They were very particular back then on how they were going to word things, because even in 1890, they started to see some pushback.
Think about Jim Crow, too. They're revamping that. It's just racist laws.
It kind of gets a little bit deeper than that, because you have to understand, like, after the war was fought, there was a decision made, almost like after World War II, where we decided we were going to build our, the people we fought back up rather than letting them come back. But along with that, we allowed Confederate generals to be in Congress, to vote. And because of that, we started to see, instead of a reconstruction of the South, which was our golden window to kind of recreate what we think of as the American South, it kind of just stayed and hovered. So then we had this weird conversation about states' rights rather than slavery. We have these statues erected 50, 60 years later after the actual battle. And now I think, Tori, because you hear this all the time with the Holocaust, people don't understand what they're saying. So they're like, oh, it's just as bad as the Holocaust. Me putting this mask on is like slavery.
Yeah,
and because I don't think people are taught.
They're never sacrificing.
What happened, the murders, the castration, like the horrible things that happened. So they just think waiting in line at CVS is just like the Holocaust.
Yeah, you need to sacrifice in a modern society.
Welcome back to DBL. Well, it's that time of the week where we share more airline madness video. That's how frequent this is happening.
Time of the week.
I know. Embarrassing. Up first, a Las Vegas man has been arrested for intoxication and disorderly conduct after he yelled and growled at passengers on board an American Airlines flight. It's almost like something you would see out of The Walking Dead. Take a look.
You can't hold us. We're not on the ground, sir. Sit. Yes, we are. We're only grounded. Sit. You see anybody else getting up? Sit. You sit down on that seat and you stay. Don't fight it. Really?
Wow.
No fly list. Just like I'm with Jeff on this. He says just ban him. This man want to act like a child, then you get a consequence and no more. He came up to the captain. The captain, he said, you sit down. The idea of people just getting intoxication rights or citations really bothers me. I just think we need a stricter penalty.
For sure. I think that the other passengers should be able to sue someone for the disorderly conduct that not only held them in a hostage situation in the air because you don't know what this lunatic is going to do next, but also, I mean, people could have had anxiety attacks.
Emotional distress,
based on
absolutely.
This. And the idea that like flying is not inexpensive. So now you're going wherever you're going using your hard-earned money, and the whole time you're sitting there hoping that you land safely because this man wants to show his whole self?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm looking at that video and I'm thinking, first of all, my seatbelt is unbuckled because I know that I'm going to have to tackle this guy at some point. And it looked, I mean, he's at the cockpit.
He is at, look at the wall. They put that wall up
at this point. And so I do like the idea of people being able to sue. We've seen that you're able to sue other people based on other Supreme Court decisions this week.
Yeah, because what if you're about to go to a funeral? What if you're going to your daughter's graduation? Like the fact that you said that you have to stay there and you're not, and it completely derails your entire plans. I think we need much more strict penalties. Yes, Tori. A few videos have gone viral showing what people are wearing or getting in trouble for wearing on planes. Okay, so here's one example. This woman is at a terminal in a bikini and just a face mask. Okay. Meantime, this woman from a viral TikTok says she was kicked off a flight because her outfit was too revealing even after she put this shirt over her sports bra. Now, lots of videos like these have gone viral showing that women get in trouble for wearing or showing what they get in trouble for wearing on planes. The question is this appropriate? And is it your right to wear whatever you want, or should too much skin get you booted? You're shaking your head.
Look, I'm all for wearing, and I do think women get body shamed, but if you're wearing a bikini or a ton of skin and you're next to me, we're touching. And as you said, we're kind of trapped in a tube here. That's a lot of sanitation, hygiene thing I don't like.
Honestly.
I gotta be honest. So, and if you get to the bathroom, I'm looking at your, whoa, okay.
Right, I mean, we've been accused on this panel of being too liberal, and there are two people, and I'm like, do what you do, Sammy, do what you do, Tori. But when it starts to invade, when your skin starts to touch mine or my child, who I might be traveling with, male or female, cover up the skin. Like no tank tops. I'm fine with that rule.
Especially during a pandemic.
Right? Yes, yeah.
Just make sure it's applied to both genders.
Absolutely.
Make sure, because I'm with you. I think you need to have discernment. Some women.
And mandals too, because I mean they
What's
stink.
A mandal?
They
What's a mandal?
You can smell
What's a mandal?
You can smell them.
based on preference.
What's a mandal?
A man sandal.
Yes, I'm fine. I'll change the genders there. I'm fine with women wearing sandals. Men, they got just funk right from the bottom. And there's open holes for it to escape.
Okay, all right, enough. Coming up on DBL, you guys, she became a member of the Mickey Mouse Club at age 12, working with everyone from Justin Timberlake to Britney Spears. We were talking with actress Nikki DeLoach live about growing up in the spotlight and her latest Hallmark movie. That is coming up next.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is connecting the dots.
You know, I find that just doing the same thing over and over and over again without having an emotional connection doesn't really work.
I would say if there's an actual emotional connection, then you don't need to learn, you just know.
I love her. Welcome back to DBL. That was a scene from Taking the Reins, starring my dear friend Nikki DeLoach. And as we get closer to the holidays, you can expect to see more of her on the Hallmark Channel. Nikki, welcome to DBL.
Yeah, Nikki!
Sam, I just want to take your face and just squeeze you and hug.
I just want to squeeze you. Okay, so you.
I love you so much, and I watched the show. I started watching obviously because of you, Sam, but then I stayed because it's so good. I love watching you guys, so I'm really happy to be on.
I love you so much. Okay, so before we get to your latest Hallmark movie, you know I'm a huge Hallmark movie fan, right? I've watched all of your Hallmark movies. Let's talk about your big break, which has always blown my mind. The Mickey Mouse Club. How iconic. So that show launched some major pop stars. You worked closely with Britney Spears, and it was just announced that her father has filed to end her conservatorship. So what surprised you most about the Free Britney movement?
First of all, I'm so grateful for the Free Britney movement. They advocated for her. Someone had to advocate for her. She didn't have a lawyer advocating for her. She didn't have family advocating for her. So I'm just so grateful to them that they put a megaphone on this, because, I mean, it's just a heartbreaking situation. Women should ever be restricted from making decisions about her own body, held against her will, or not be given access to her own money. This has been 13 years. I mean, she just back.
I love this girl. Out of the Mouseketeer, excuse me, you've remained close with JT, Justin Timberlake. So what makes him such a great friend? And what do you say to people who think maybe he's gotten like too big for NSYNC? You know what I'm saying? What would you say?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Listen, he's he's family. He's like a brother there for me any time in my entire life that I've ever needed a shoulder. And I just absolutely love him. He is the hardest working person that I know. And he's just so incredibly talented, but also his heart is so big and so beautiful. And him and Jess are just, I just love them so very, very, very much. So there's going to be people out there that are going to say, they're going to say whatever they want to say, but you know, I get to see him in his life every day, and I can just tell, all I know is that he's an incredible friend, and I'm so blessed to have him in my life, him and Jess.
It's good to know.
Well, Nikki, many people also know you from your heartwarming Hallmark movies. Your new movie, Taking the Reins, is about a woman who rediscovers herself after divorce. This is a story I can reconcile with. What made this project special for you?
Come back.
I love that. Well, there was a bunch of stuff that made this project for me, and I'll get a little personal. That's okay. You know, for one of the characters in this movie was created based on my grandfather, and it's the character that Corbin Burnson plays, him, my dad. So his whole character was modeled after my grandfather, and so it's just a little tribute to him. But also, it was the first movie that me and my writing / producing, look at my dad, / producing partner, we developed and created together for Hallmark. I've produced for them before. It's the first one we did together. And we met, oh gosh, years ago. We were in acting class together, and she also was in the movie as an actor. And it was so weird to just go from like being in acting class, not being able to like buy fresh fruit sometimes, and then all of a sudden we're sitting on set and we're in a scene together and the cameras are on, and I just kept thinking, Megan, this is insane. I can't believe that you and I are here. We're doing this together. And we had an incredible female director, female producers behind this, an incredible cast. It was just so blessed and graced from the get. And you know, this was a hard movie for me to make. You know, I made this movie while my dad was, you know, in the last month of his life. Right. And just be surrounded by such incredible people, and we all just poured all of ourselves into it. It definitely had some magic sprinkled over it.
Yeah, and Nikki, you mentioned your dad. We showed a picture of your dad. I just have to tell you what incredible work you have done in honor of your dad and Alzheimer's. I know that you have this big walk coming up on November 6th to our viewers, because Nikki, a lot of our viewers have become personal, almost like friends to us. And a lot of our viewers have also gone through Alzheimer's with family members. So to our viewers out there, follow Nikki DeLoach, follow what she's doing. She really is making change. And also make sure you check out Taking the Reins. It premieres September 25th, of course, on the Hallmark Channel. I love you so much, Nikki. Keep up the good work. We love you.
I love you. You too, Sam. You too. All of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I enjoy
Nikki.
you.
Bye, Nikki.
Promotional consider.
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are our sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior court, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big. I cannot wait. Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We've got a couple of viral videos of 2 men who've been accused of faking getting hit by cars, okay? Cameras on this Tesla caught a man who can be seen falling over and appearing like he's hurt, even though the car never actually hit him. Police have arrested him and say he admitted to making the whole thing up. Now check out this one, okay? A man very dramatically appears to fake getting hit by a white van. Yeah, he even rolls over the hood before falling to the ground. This happened to me on La Brea Avenue in LA with a person on a crosswalk.
They did the...
I actually thought I hit them. Yeah. And then when I leaned over and gave him a kiss on the forehead because I really thought I hit him, he admitted to me that he made it up.
Kiss on the forehead?
Whoa, what are you, the
kissed
Pope?
him on the forehead?
I thought he was... We'll get to it. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half
DMV
of the
Snow
show
White.
Online. Watch on YouTube, DailyBlastLive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's... I felt bad
like
for him. Yes, I thought I hit a man. Celebrity baby news. The big announcements from Kylie Jenner and Olivia Munn. Plus, going back to the ballroom, we're going to talk about the latest cast that just was announced in Dancing with the Stars. Next. Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees at factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. Ooh, the lineup for the new season of Dancing with the Stars was announced earlier today.
Am I on it?
You're not, but you should be, although I have seen you dance, so maybe not.
It's terrible.
It ain't that good. As we mentioned, Olivia Jade has been confirmed as one of the stars, and former Bachelor Matt James was also added to the list. Beverly Hills 90210 star Brian Austin Green will make his debut on the dance floor. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore, just filed for divorce, so maybe we can expect to see some revenge dancing. You never know. Sporty Spice Mel C is also a contestant this season, and I wonder if any of the other Spice Girls will show up in the audience, possibly. Also, the Karate Kid's Martin Love, or Cove rather, who also plays Sensei John Kreese in Cobra Kai. What a surprise. As was Peloton cycling director Cody Rigsby, but he's a fan favorite instructor who has a huge following on social media. So a lot of people believe that he's going to take the win, but can we go back to Olivia Jade? Because there's a lot of controversy surrounding her. Do you think she should have been cast?
I think I'm watching that. I'm watching for it between her, Matt James, and Cody Rigsby. Those are the stories, because people are going to see if the Peloton audience will translate to broadcast. We're going to get a temperature check on how people are feeling about Olivia Jade, and Matt James is really the person to watch because the same network for The Bachelor, and people want to know the person who has been, by like people who are totally into this, like, oh, this season brought down the franchise or whatever. People are going to be looking to see how people feel about, are they rooting for him or are they rooting against him? So those are the three I'm really watching for.
I know what you mean, and I am watching for Olivia Jade, but my thing is this: if she performs and does like a cha-cha, what do you do, a paso dobles? Once she's done, do you like clap for Olivia? Like, it's weird to for me to elevate someone who she kind of did stuff wrong, and that's why she's famous. I guess she was a YouTube tutorial.
But she was also a teenager.
True.
Believe me, I'm not removing blame from her, but I place the blame on the parents specifically.
But could you root for Olivia Jade, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's my question, is who's going to root for her? Because I feel like this demo's a little bit older for her. I feel like her shot was when she went on Red Table Talk and she had her chance to really be cathartic there. It did not go well.
It did not.
I don't know about that.
I don't think. Well,
Did you watch the whole episode?
I watched most of it. I'm not watching the whole thing. I have a life.
They called her out, especially Gammy,
that's what
and
I'm saying.
She took it.
No, I'm not. She didn't come out of that, and I'm feeling absolved, and I felt like she was ready to move on. I felt like she's in this weird limbo now, Sam, where she's lost a lot of followers, but she's still kind of famous. And now she's going to this other genre where it's probably a demo that is probably 20 years older than would be interested in what she's doing. So where does she go from here is my question.
I actually want to see what she's done, because in Red Table Talk, she made it very clear that she wants her actions to speak louder than her words. So what has she done? If she has really tried hard to make a comeback using Erica Cobb's words, and she's earned that comeback by doing some philanthropic work that none of us are aware of, maybe she's opened up her mind and she's, I hope, escaped her bubble and her privilege. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know.
Or is she profiting off of the scandal by doing this?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah. I'm just curious. Okay, so we do have a couple of celebs who are expecting. Did you hear? Kylie Jenner announced on Instagram that she is pregnant with her second child. Kylie posted a video showing her at the doctor's office and revealing her ultrasound pics to her mom, Kris Jenner, who was clearly thrilled. And comedian John Mulaney revealed that he and actress Olivia Munn, who's just on the show are also going to be parents. John broke the news to Seth Meyers on his talk show. He and Olivia, by the way, started dating a few months after he got out of rehab. At the time, John had also just separated from his wife of 6 years. What do you think, Tori? You're shaking your head.
There's a little scandal here, and it's just all speculation. I love John Mulaney. I think he's an excellent, excellent comic, and I know he went to rehab and became sober, and I think that's fantastic. He often mentioned his wife in his stand-up, and they were a team, and their dog was part of it, and it was a whole thing. All of a sudden, during rehab somehow, Olivia Munn, who years earlier said she really likes John Mulaney, always wanted to date him, they kind of start dating. Then she shows up and might be pregnant, and now the ex-wife is like, did I just get dropped for this? So there's a little scandal here. I wish them all the best. But I worry that in recovery, and you don't want to jump into too many things. This seems like a lot of things to jump into.
It is. It is, and I think there's a tendency to try and bury yourself with new things that'll take your mind off of whatever issue that you're dealing with. And I wish him all the best. He was sober for a long time up until then, so he has a track record that he can do this. But it's a lot to take on, and sometimes stress can push you forward or pull you back. So here's nothing but the best for John and Olivia.
Okay. Well, it looks like speaking of relationships, Kristen Cavallari has blocked her former friend Jana Kramer on social media. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Jana had been confiding in Kristen over her divorce from Mike Cosson this past spring, but then, get this is where the controversy starts. Jana reportedly just went on a date with Kristen's ex, Jay Cutler, so Kristen feels like this was a total stab in the back by Jana. We actually just got a in the back of the studio. Kristen and Jay were together for 10 years and announced they were divorcing last spring. Now, Jana and Mike finalized their divorce in July after 6 years of marriage.
I can't even follow this story.
It's very easy to follow, Tori. Come on.
Wait,
it's very easy.
Break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
Well, basically, Kristen Cavallari and Jana Kramer did what a lot of people do, especially when it comes to people in a certain industry or social groupings. You start to find someone who you have a shared experience with, and you divulge too much before you have that real cloak of security in a friendship. And ultimately, this happens all the time, whether it's someone who, I know for me personally, when I went through a divorce, it changed my friendships. It changed all of our friendships, because the truth is, while you might have friends and you might bring them into certain things about your life, there's a different set of rules when you are splitting up with someone. And not to say that people have to choose sides, because I don't believe in that, but you cannot insert yourself in any capacity, whether it's dating or trying to mediate or all these things, because you're playing a game where you don't know all the rules. Now, this is very interesting, because now Jana decided to go out on a date with Jay, which really tells you where she felt Kristen was in the whole friendship grouping to begin with.
It's not where she felt she was, Erica. It's where she was. They were not friends. We throw the word. Sam, we throw the word around friends.
Would you date a friend's ex?
Too much. Absolutely not, because they're my real friend. But I think a lot of times, human beings, as a species, we cannot tell who's your friend and who's somebody you're cool with. Somebody you're cool with, you can have drinks with. Somebody that's your friend will tell you that you're drinking too much. That's a real friend. You can do anything you want with somebody you're cool with.
What if they were real friends?
They couldn't be. It's too short of a time. They don't have any history. Does she know her mama's name?
Maybe.
Has she been to a family function? Have they had a fight and recovered from it?
Well,
have they had a difficult discussion? I doubt it. They've probably confided in each other. They've had wine with each other. But the real difficult moments, difficult moments when it's inconvenient, when you need to go pick somebody up from the airport at 4:30 in the morning during a snowstorm, that's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you're cool with.
I wouldn't even be okay with if I was cool with someone and going out to drinks with someone and then they start dating my ex. I'm not cool with that.
You wouldn't be cool with it, but that's a lesson that you have in your arsenal. And I think we all have to learn lessons like that. When it comes down to affairs of the heart and money, that's the fastest way to learn.
Yeah, I would never do it to my friend or to someone even an acquaintance. I would stay away. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right, Tori?
Like a stranger, I wouldn't. I completely agree. It's just there's a circular code of shield of power you don't cross.
That's your code. not this person you're cool with code. Right, and I believe you guys, but other people are like, hey,
I feel
no. Okay, so a new study suggests the real reason some of us choose to use self-checkout at the grocery store. So the survey conducted on behalf of Kroger found that 2 in 5 people use the self-checkout to avoid cashiers who may judge their purchases.
I'm judging that purchase. What is she buying? A silver can with holes in it?
Well, get this. 40% of Americans said they buy healthy items at the supermarket just to make sure they're not judged. What, Tori?
It's just so, like, I'm a people pleaser, but this is taking it to a whole other level. Like, who cares? Those people, let me tell you, a lot of them are my friends. I've worked with them. They don't care. They don't care that you're buying Oreos and mayo and maybe combining them alone in the dark. They don't care.
I would care about that.
They don't care about that. They don't care. All I'm saying is this. Self-checkout is the worst. You got olives or something, there's no button. You have to call someone, they're just waiting there. People are watching. More people are watching in self-checkout than in the little mayo line.
Now you're on to something. I think this is a flawed study.
Yeah.
You don't go to self-checkout to make sure you don't get made fun of. Self-checkout is where everybody comes around to watch you, not understand how to ring in the bananas.
No one knows how to ring in the bananas.
Exactly.
I'm finding out that my co-host can't locate a barcode and put it in front of the red thing.
It's the produce. The produce.
I don't know.
That's where they're doing. The produce is the
There's a picture of it on the. You press the picture of the thing in your hand.
You know how many cars haven't even thought about maybe young shoppers buying feminine hygiene products, condoms. That's embarrassing for a lot of young shoppers. So
are you pronouncing condoms like English is your third language? Condoms. Sexuality. What do you?
I'm just saying. A lot of people get a little shy at the checkout.
That's fair.
Okay. That's coming up on DBL. This is a really chilling true crime chronicles as we look into the death of an Ole Miss college student who pulled the trigger the night of her murder.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay. Oh, cool. Also, Xbox Hater 87 says, I go to self-checkout because they have one cashier. LMAO. Now, I do have to say, with the produce, I agree with Erica. You're supposed to know, like, what a quart or an ounce or a pound of cherries is. I'm not a farmer or an agriculturist.
You put it on the thing and it weighs it.
No, it does?
Because, no.
Wait, it does?
Yeah, it does weigh it for you. It weighs it for you. This is what the problem is, though. You go with a bunch of produce, and then there's people behind you.
You're very anxious.
And everybody, it's like there's no code on there. Like, some of it has it, some of it doesn't. Is it organic? I don't know. I just picked it up. Like, there's all these other questions. And then, really, it's also to kind of stabilize the whole dynamic in the grocery store, because there's always one judgy person who's working there, and they look at you like you are the dumbest person on the face of the earth. The dumbest. No. And I'm telling you, this is a stabilizer. Self-checkout is a social stabilizer.
Welcome back to DBL. Her death sent shockwaves through the South. The murder of a 21-year-old college student in Mississippi.
Left for dead in the middle of the night, we're taking you back to that night, to the scene of the crime in today's True Crime Chronicles.
It's the early hours of Saturday morning, July 20th, 2019. A gunman shoots Ole Miss student Allie Kostial 8 times in the stomach, killing her. He leaves her dying at a picnic table near a lake 30 miles from the Ole Miss campus.
Allie was just very fun and outgoing, very friendly girl. I'm just gonna miss the fact that she was always there for me if I needed to talk to her.
Hours later, authorities discover her body. Investigators begin unraveling the events leading up to the murder. Surveillance video shows Allie leaving a bar at 11:52 p.m. Friday night before entering a rideshare. Media outlets then uncover footage of Allie at a convenience store early Saturday morning. In the video, she is seen with a man. Police quickly identify him as one Brandon Thesfeld. On Sunday, police reach out to Brandon, who they learn is a classmate of Allie's. He initially agrees to talk to them, but later that day tells them he is uncomfortable answering questions as he has been drinking. Brandon tells police he will meet them on Monday instead. However, he flees the state. Cell phone and credit card data lead police to a gas station in Memphis, where they apprehend Brandon. Police take him into custody, finding a Glock pistol among Brandon's belongings. Ballistic tests reveal that his pistol is the murder weapon.
Hearing these things about him it makes you scared and not want to trust anybody that you meet.
The next day, prosecutors charge Brandon with murder. But why did Brandon kill Allie? A damning trail of digital evidence paints a chilling picture of his motives. Allie had dated Brandon on and off, but Brandon reportedly never took their relationship seriously. Several months before the murder, Allie sent him a photo of an inconclusive pregnancy test. In a state of panic and believing a pregnancy would ruin his life, Brandon searched methods of abortion before turning to darker intents. Police find evidence that Brandon researched how Ted Bundy lured his victims.
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
Investigators also uncover cell phone data that shows both Brandon and Allie arriving at the site of the murder, but only Brandon leaving. The evidence is irrefutable. Over 2 years after killing Allie Kostial, Brandon Thesfeld pleads guilty to her murder.
Brandon will spend the rest of his life in prison, and tragically, Allie turned out not to be pregnant. We wanted to learn more about the case, so we talked to Casey Nolan, a local journalist at KSDK in St. Louis, who covered the story. Casey, thank you so much for being here. Tell us about Allie and Brandon's relationship. Did they get along? Were there a lot of fights? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's been described as on again, off again. Somewhat romantic, but never was a long-term relationship. And the things we've heard in court was that she was more interested in a relationship than he was. And then at some point, she reached out to him, sent him a picture of an inconclusive pregnancy test, and said, "We got to talk." And that's when he started cutting off communication with her.
That was the trigger.
I mean, I don't think it'll be going out on a limb to say that he was a nefarious character. So can you tell our viewers, Casey, what was Brandon's home life like?
Well, in his own words, he was no good. He left a letter for his parents saying, "It's not your fault. If you're reading this, I'm either dead or going to prison, and that something has just always been off with me. I'm just a bad person."
He feels there's something wrong with him. When the police arrested him, though, Casey, Brandon said he was innocent. So why did he write that letter, I guess, and why do you think he pled guilty, and why say he was innocent? Do you think he was in shock, maybe?
Well, I mean, I don't think this was the most well-laid plans for a crime, right? Like, I guess in the beginning he thought he might be able to get away with it, but I guess you could say the digital evidence just really piled up on him. They were able to track his phone and her phone to where her body was found. They were able to look at his internet searches for things like silencers. And I'm not making this up, this is in court. How did Ted Bundy lure his victims is one of the things he searched for. He searched for how to get an abortion early on when she first told him about what she thought was a possible pregnancy. And so then after he shot and killed her, left her on a picnic bench by a lake where kids would go party, he started searching how to scan for police scanners, how to listen to police scanners in that area. So in the beginning, he may have thought he could get away with it to some degree, but the evidence seems to be overwhelming. Yeah.
That picnic table is the thing that frightens me. The contradiction between her body and the picnic table is so sad. Go ahead, Alsa.
No, it's a lot. I mean, the case is closed, but is it closed for the community? Like, how's the community doing, and have they moved on?
The community at Ole Miss still makes an effort to remember her. They've held other events in the last, past few months to remember her. Her family, we have not heard much more from. We had made some contact with them through friends of the family. But in court, they had a statement that was read by the family, and they said they refused to let her be defined by how she died. They talked a lot about how, she had an Instagram account was almost exclusively sunsets, that she just liked beautiful things. They remember the beauty she brought to the world, what an innocent and loving child she was, who liked reading Little House on the Prairie. And so they're trying to hold on to the memories of her that don't have anything to do with that picnic table, like you mentioned.
Yeah, wow, sunsets. I'll think of Allie. Well, we covered the broad strokes on the case here on the show, but trust me, there's so much more to it. So if you'd like to get those details, go to ksdk.com. We've also covered Allie's story on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find where podcasts are all streaming. Casey, thank you. It is always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for bringing her story to light. Thanks again, Casey.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Thank you both.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. If you are a parent, listen up. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So the IRS has a warning for parents getting the expanded child tax credit. Scammers are sending fake messages via email, phone, or social media telling parents there's a problem with their tax credit and asking for your personal information. So to stay safe, here are some things to note. The IRS will never contact you via email, text, phone call, or social media. They will never leave you a voicemail, and they will never ask you to to verify personal or financial information. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Oh man, I wanted to point out that Tori wasn't at the desk, but we're gotta go. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot.
Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
Self-checkout is what everyone wanted to talk about.
What are they saying?
Donnie, thank you for writing in. Donnie says, I work at a grocery store and we don't judge people, so you got to get over yourself. That's good. Thank you, Donnie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donnie. And also Serena says, I hate self-checkout. If I'm spending $200, I'm not bagging too.
What?
I bag even when I go
always
to a
bag.
person.
I always
love
bag.
I like to bag.
It's like Tetris.
satisfying.
Put all the frozen goods together, yes.
Just bag it. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees at factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the country's largest Confederate monuments is gone now. Was taking down the Robert E. Lee statue the right move, or did history just get erased? The in-flight meltdown you have to see to believe. Plus, too skimpy for the sky? Why passengers seem to be wearing less and less on airplanes. In today's True Crime Chronicles, the mystery surrounding an Ole Miss student's death. What caused the killer to pull the trigger?
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
And back to the ballroom with a former Spice Girl, a Real Housewife, and Lori Loughlin's daughter. Is this the most controversial season of Dancing with the Stars yet?
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, September 8th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. So a lot of our viewers, a lot of you are talking about this. Workers removed one of the country's largest Confederate statues today. This 21-foot statue of Robert E. Lee towered over the main boulevard in Richmond, Virginia since 1890. Now, the debate over removing Confederate monuments really heated up following the death of George Floyd last year. And DBL Nation, we always want to hear what you think. In your opinion, should the statue have been removed? Yes or no? Go to dblvote.com, weigh in. What do you think, Al?
I mean, a lot of people, you know, we hear this, it goes both ways. It's like, look, he was an insurrectionist. He fought against our country. They tried to secede from the Union. He killed a lot of Americans. He should not be celebrated in this way. Other people say you're erasing history, but I've often found that the people that use the whole erasing history argument are also against critical race theory, which is about trying to teach history. So it's this weird thing where we kind of want to teach history when it's advantageous to our point, but when we want to start talking about how we got to this point in 2021, we go, let's literally not teach slavery in school. So it's a weird dynamic, Tori, to say the least.
Yeah, it is really weird. I just like to say that, like, when I went and visited Germany, in Berlin and Munich, which was weird for me because as a Jew, I was kind of super nervous, to be honest.
That's honest.
I'll be honest. My mom was like kind of weirded out. They have 0 statues of anything to do with Hitler or Nazis. They've made that a rule. But let me tell you something. Those Germans know about World War II and what happened. It is taught in their class because they realize Berlin school children didn't know. So you can teach history by not elevating someone on a pedestal on a horse who didn't become a traitor to our nation. That's how I feel.
Well, and I think that's the key word, elevation.
Right.
We have to remember why these statues were put into place and when they were put into place. It was an intimidation tactic. Yes. It was about basically a PR revamp for the Civil War and why it was fought to begin with.
Right.
They wanted to take the slavery out of it because people started to understand that the slavery was just icky to people.
Bad for business.
But I really want to take this moment to highlight someone. Her name is Ziana Bryant. Ziana was 15 when she started the petition to remove Robert E. Lee's statue in her hometown of Charlottesville. Now, she is passing the mic today to Race Capital, who is actually putting boots on the ground and doing amazing work in the initiative, and she wanted to give that amplification to the natives. But I think it's very important because often, and I've had a couple times to speak with Ziana, and the interesting thing is, while she was only 15 when she started this petition, she was essentially outed. Her full name was given by a news source without her knowledge, and she was very much harassed for a long period of time.
Couldn't imagine.
And she is so dynamic. I follow her on social media because she is doing really great things, and your name will not be erased from this story, Ziana, and we celebrate you as well as Race Capital and all of the people who are putting in so much effort in order to make a more progressive society.
And let me just, really powerful, I'm glad that you brought her up. I want to just bring in some comments really quickly. From the Mike variant, interesting name, on Twitter, Richmond still has 1 in 4 living in poverty. Glad their woke virtual signaling politicians have their priorities straight there. And then Oxford's Not Brogues said no one is erasing history. Robert E. Lee will be long remembered without a statue. All right, and it looks like 63% of you say no. Should the Robert E. Lee statue have been taken down? You say no. Wow. Okay, so we've got some good news when it comes to Americans getting vaccinated. The CDC is saying that 75% of adults in the U.S. have received at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. But we're not so sure this next woman is among them. Check out what she did after running into a masked woman at a grocery store.
Excuse me, I'm coming through.
Why don't you have a mask on?
Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Okay,
It's my allergies.
You
I
don't
have
know
allergies.
who's sick or not.
But on the other side of things, a substitute teacher in Las Vegas has been accused of taping a mask to a 9-year-old's face after he got up to get a drink of water and forgot to put his mask on. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Both situations are unfortunate. What would you say, Al, especially being a former teacher?
You know, you should not touch a student in any way, and to publicly humiliate a child like that for doing something as simple as forgetting to put their mask on, which every adult has done to do when they, you know, run out of the building to go to their car for a second. It just happens.
Yeah.
So again, I think that teacher had an agenda, and obviously this woman coughing is just a different level of foul, and I don't understand. I would have never seen this coming, Sam. If this was 2014 and somebody was just coughing over the bananas at the grocery store, think about how insane that would look. But for somebody to do that now, where people's lives are literally, I mean, you have to look at you, Sam. It blows my mind.
I don't think people realize when they post memes about masks being ridiculous or COVID isn't real or it's overblown, they don't realize the suffering. They don't realize, even though my brother has 2 new lungs, they don't realize that he's I can't even formulate thoughts right now. I really can't. Just know, if you doubt it for a second, go to the ER for a day, go to the ICU for the day, talk to a family member. Erica lost a family member.
What your emotion is completely real, Sam, and that's the thing. It's the desensitization, because people are only ready to address things as they are being affected by them. I can have a civil discourse, I can have a back and forth with someone when you're respecting the fact that while you're telling me all of the things that you believe to be facts, and I'm doing the same with you, but you aren't negating the fact that I have seen real loss in more than one way. Because think about the stats of suicide as well in the past year and a half. People have been affected by this in so many ways. So the moment that you diminish your pain, your family's pain and trauma in order to prove your point, we have nothing to talk about. And that's just where we are.
Well said. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by...
Whether it's a last-second bake sale,
Hey guys, we wanted to actually ask you, if you did go to dblvote.com and wrote that you don't think the Robert E. Lee statue should be taken down, we'd love to hear from you on YouTube or Twitter or the DBL app, or email us, info@dailyblastlive.com. What's the reason you think it needs to be kept up if, for instance, in other countries, they can still teach without having the statues be up?
Tori, I thought Erica's point was really interesting, which I'll admit I did not know. Michael Dean, our producer, told me. And I think that just goes to show that we need critical race theory. The fact that I obviously knew that Robert E. Lee was a bad man, right? But I did not know that when his statue was erected that they did it specifically for a PR like rebranding, so they could somehow twist it to, this is a man that's a hero fighting for our states' rights, not this was a man that fought for slavery. They were very particular back then on how they were going to word things, because even in 1890 they started to see some pushback.
Think about Jim Crow too. They're revamping that. It's just racist laws.
It kind of gets a little bit deeper than that, because you have to understand, like, after the war was fought, there was a decision made, almost like after World War II, where we decided we were going to build our the people we fought back up rather than letting them come back. But along with that, we allowed Confederate generals to be in Congress to vote, and because of that, we started to see, instead of a reconstruction of the South, which was our golden window to kind of recreate what we think of as the American South, it kind of just stayed and hovered. So then we had this weird conversation about states' rights rather than slavery. We have these statues erected 50, 60 years later after the actual battle. And now I think, Tori, because you hear this all the time with the Holocaust, people don't understand what they're saying. So they're like, oh, it's just as bad as the Holocaust. Me putting this mask on is like slavery.
Yeah,
and because I don't think people are taught.
They're never sacrificing.
What happened, the murders, the castration, like the horrible things that happened. So they just think waiting in line at CVS is just like the Holocaust.
Yeah, you need to sacrifice in a modern society.
Welcome back to DBL. Well, it's that time of the week where we share more airline madness video. That's how frequent this is happening.
Time of the week.
I know. Embarrassing. Up first, a Las Vegas man has been arrested for intoxication and disorderly conduct after he yelled and growled at passengers on board an American Airlines flight. It's almost like something you would see out of The Walking Dead. Take a look.
You can't hold us. We're out on the ground, sir. Sit. Yes, we are. We're only grounded. Sit. You see anyone else getting up? Sit. You sit down in that seat and you stay. Don't fight it. Really?
Wow.
No fly list. Just like, I'm with Jeff on this. He says just ban him. This man want to act like a child, then you get a consequence and no more. He came up to the captain. The captain, he said, you sit down. The idea of people just getting intoxication rights or citations really bothers me. I just think we need a stricter penalty.
For sure. I think that the other passengers should be able to sue someone for the disorderly conduct that not only held them in a hostage situation in the air because you don't know what this lunatic is going to do next, but also, I mean, people could have had anxiety attacks,
emotional distress, absolutely.
And the idea that, like, flying is not inexpensive. So now you're going wherever you're going using your hard-earned money, and the whole time you're sitting there hoping that you land safely because this man wants to show his whole self?
I mean, you know, I'm looking at that video and I'm thinking, first of all, my seatbelt is unbuckled because I know that I'm going to have to tackle this guy at some point. And it looked, I mean, he's at the cockpit.
He is at, look at the wall. They put that wall up to stop him.
At this point, and so I do like the idea of people being able to sue. We've seen that you're able to sue other people based on other Supreme Court decisions this week.
Yeah, because what if you're about to go to to a funeral? What if you're going to your daughter's graduation? Like the fact that you said that you have to stay there and you're not, and it completely derails your entire plans. I think we need much more strict penalties. Yes, Tori. A few videos have gone viral showing what people are wearing or getting in trouble for wearing on planes. Okay, so here's one example. This woman is at a terminal in a bikini and just a face mask. Okay. Meantime, this woman from a viral TikTok says she was kicked off a flight because her outfit was too revealing even after she put this shirt over her sports bra. Now, lots of videos like these have gone viral showing that women get in trouble for wearing or showing what they get in trouble for wearing on planes. The question is this appropriate? And is it your right to wear whatever you want, or should too much skin get you booted? You're shaking your head.
Look, I'm all for wearing, and I do think women get body shamed, but if you're wearing a bikini or a ton of skin and you're next to me, we're touching. And as you said, we're kind of trapped in a tube here. That's a lot of sanitation, hygiene thing I don't like.
Honestly.
I got to be honest. So, and if you get to the bathroom, I'm looking at your, whoa, okay.
Right, I mean, we've been accused on this panel of being too liberal, and there are two people, and I'm like, do what you do, Sammy, do what you do, Tori. But when it starts to invade, when your skin starts to touch mine or my child, who I might be traveling with, male or female, cover up the skin. Like no tank tops. I'm fine with that
Especially
rule.
During a pandemic.
Right? Yes, yeah.
Just make sure it's applied to both genders.
Absolutely.
Make sure, because I'm with you. I think you need to have discernment. Some women.
And mandals too, because I mean they
What's
stink.
A mandal?
They
stink. What's a mandal?
No, you can smell
What's a
them.
mandal?
Now you're just going based on preference.
What's a mandal?
A man sandal.
Yes, I'm fine. I'll change the genders there. I'm fine with women wearing sandals. Men, they got just funk right from the bottom. And there's open holes for it to escape.
Okay, all right, enough. Coming up on DBL, you guys, she became a member of the Mickey Mouse Club at age 12, working with everyone from Justin Timberlake to Britney Spears. We were talking with actress Nikki DeLoach live about growing up in the spotlight and her latest Hallmark movie. That is coming up next.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
You know, I find that just doing the same thing over and over and over again without having an emotional connection doesn't really work.
I would say if there's an actual emotional connection, then you don't need to learn, you just know.
I love her. Welcome back to DBL. That was a scene from Taking the Reins, starring my dear friend Nikki DeLoach. And as we get closer to the holidays, you can expect to see more of her on the Hallmark Channel. Nikki, welcome to DBL.
Yeah, Nikki!
Sam, I just want to take your face and just squeeze you and hug.
I just want to squeeze you. Okay, so
I love you so much, and I watched the show. I started watching obviously because of you, Sam, but then I stayed because it's so good. I love watching you guys, so I'm really happy to be on.
I love you so much. Okay, so before we get to your latest Hallmark movie, you know I'm a huge Hallmark movie fan, right? I've watched all of your Hallmark movies. Let's talk about your big break, which has always blown my mind. The Mickey Mouse Club. How iconic. So that show launched some major pop stars. You worked closely with Britney Spears, and it was just announced that her father has filed to end her conservatorship. So what surprised you most about the Free Britney movement?
First of all, I'm so grateful for the Free Britney movement. They advocated for her. Someone had to advocate for her. She didn't have a lawyer advocating for her. She didn't have family advocating for her. So I'm just so grateful to them that they put a megaphone on this, because, I mean, it's just a heartbreaking situation. Women should ever be restricted from making decisions about her own body, held against her will, or not be given access to her own money. This has been 13 years. I mean, she just back.
I love this girl. Out of the Mouseketeer, excuse me, you've remained close with JT, Justin Timberlake. So what makes him such a great friend? And what do you say to people who think maybe he's gotten like too big for NSYNC? You know what I'm saying? What would you say?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Listen, he's family. He's like a brother there for me any time in my entire life that I've ever needed a shoulder. And I just absolutely love him. He is the hardest working person that I know. And he's just so incredibly talented, but also his heart is so big and so beautiful. And him and Jess are I just love them so very, very, very much. So there's going to be people out there that are going to say, they're going to say whatever they want to say. But, you know, I get to see him in his life every day. And I can just tell, all I know is that he's an incredible friend. And I'm so blessed to have him in my life, him and Jess.
It's good to know.
Well, Nikki, many people also know you from your heartwarming Hallmark movies. Your new movie, Taking the Reins, is about a woman who rediscovers herself after divorce. This is a story I can reconcile with. What made this project special for you?
Come back.
I love that. Well, there was a bunch of stuff that made this project for me, and I'll get a little personal. That's okay. You know, for one of the characters in this movie was created based on my grandfather, and it's the character that Corbin Burnson plays, him, my dad. So his whole character was modeled after my grandfather, and so it's just a little tribute to him. But also, it was the first movie that me and my writing / producing, look at my dad, / producing partner, we developed and created together for Hallmark. I've produced for them before. It's the first one we did together. And we met, oh gosh, years ago. We were in acting class together. And she also was in the movie as an actor. And it was so weird to just go from like being in acting class, not being able to like buy fresh fruit sometimes. And then all of a sudden we're sitting on set and we're in a scene together and the cameras are on. And I just kept thinking, Megan, this is insane. I can't believe that you and I are here. We're doing this together. And we had an incredible female director, female producers behind this, an incredible cast. It was just so blessed and graced from the get. And, you know, this was a hard movie for me to make. You know, I made this movie while my dad was, you know, in the last month of his life. Right. And just be surrounded by such incredible people, and we all just poured all of ourselves into it. it definitely had some magic sprinkled over it.
Yeah, and Nikki, you mentioned your dad. We showed a picture of your dad. I just have to tell you what incredible work you have done in honor of your dad and Alzheimer's. I know that you have this big walk coming up on November 6th to our viewers because, Nikki, a lot of our viewers have become personal, almost like friends to us. And a lot of our viewers have also gone through Alzheimer's with family members. So to our viewers out there, follow Nikki DeLoach, follow what she's doing. She really is making change. And also make sure you check out Taking the Reins. It premieres September 25th, of course, on the Hallmark Channel. I love you so much, Nikki. Keep up the good work. We love you.
I love you. You too, Sam. You too. All of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I enjoy
Nikki.
you.
Bye, Nikki.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are our sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior court, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big. I cannot wait. Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We've got a couple of viral videos of 2 men who've been accused of faking getting hit by cars, okay? Cameras on this Tesla caught a man who can be seen falling over and appearing like he's hurt, even though the car never actually hit him. Police have arrested him and say he admitted to making the whole thing up. Now check out this one, okay? A man very dramatically appears to fake getting hit by a white van. Yeah, he even rolls over the hood before falling to the ground. this happened to me on La Brea Avenue in LA with a person on a crosswalk.
They did the...
I actually thought I hit them. Yeah. And then when I leaned over and gave him a kiss on the forehead, because I really thought I hit him, he admitted to me that he made it up.
Kiss on the forehead?
Oh, what are you, the
kissed
Pope?
him on the forehead?
I thought he was... We'll get to it. If you're leaving us, the second half
DMV
of the
Snow
show
White.
Online, watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's... I felt bad
like
for
a
him.
on the...
Yes, I thought I hit a man. Celebrity baby news, the big announcements from Kylie Jenner and Olivia Munn, plus going back to the ballroom. We're going to talk about the latest cast that just was announced in Dancing with the Stars next. Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees in factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. Ooh, the lineup for the new season of Dancing with the Stars was announced earlier today.
Am I on it?
You're not, but you should be, although I have seen you dance, so maybe not.
It's terrible.
It ain't that good. As we mentioned, Olivia Jade has been confirmed as one of the stars, and former Bachelor Matt James was also added to the list. Beverly Hills 90210 star Brian Austin Green will make his debut on the dance floor. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore, just filed for divorce, so maybe we can expect to see some revenge dancing. You never know. Sporty Spice Mel C is also a contestant this season, and I wonder if any of the other Spice Girls will show up in the audience, possibly. Also, the Karate Kid's Martin Love, or Cub rather, who also plays Sensei John Kreese in Cobra Kai, what a surprise, as was Peloton cycling director Cody Rigsby, but he's a fan favorite instructor who has a huge following on social media. So a lot of people believe that he's going to take the win, but can we go back to Olivia Jade? Because there's a lot of controversy surrounding her. Do you think she should have been cast?
I think I'm watching that. I'm watching for it between her, Matt James, and Cody Rigsby. Those are the stories, because people are going to see if the Peloton audience will translate to broadcast. We're going to get a temperature check on how people are feeling about Olivia Jade, and Matt James is really the person to watch because the same network for The Bachelor, and people want to know the person who has been by like people who are totally into this, like, oh, this season brought down the franchise or whatever. People are going to be looking to see how people feel about, are they rooting for him or are they rooting against him? So those are the three I'm really watching for.
I know what you mean, and I am watching for Olivia Jade, but my thing is this: if she performs and does like a, I don't know, like a cha-cha, what do you do, a paso dobles? Once she's done, do you like clap for Olivia? Like, it's weird to like, for me to elevate someone who like, she kind of did stuff wrong, and that's why she's famous. I guess she was a YouTube tutorial.
But she was also a teenager.
True.
Not, believe me, I'm not removing blame from her, but I place the blame on the parents specifically.
But could you root for Olivia Jade, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's my question, is who's going to root for her? Because I feel like this demo's a little bit older for her. I feel like her shot was when she went on Red Table Talk, and she had her chance to really be cathartic there. It did not go well.
It did not.
I don't know about that.
I don't think. Well,
Did you watch the whole episode?
I watched most of it. I'm not watching the whole thing. I have a life.
They called her out, especially Gammy,
that's what
and
I'm saying.
she took it.
No, I'm not.
She
but
took
she
it.
didn't come out of that, and I'm feeling absolved, and I felt like she was ready to move on. I felt like she's in this weird limbo now, Sam, where she's lost a lot of followers, but she's still kind of famous, and now she's going to this other genre where it's probably a demo that's probably 20 years older than would be interested in what she's doing. So where does she go from here is my question.
I actually want to see what she's done, because in Red Table Talk, she made it very clear that she wants her actions to speak louder than her words. So what has she done? If she has really tried hard to make a comeback using Erica Cobb's words, and she's earned that comeback by doing some philanthropic work that none of us are aware of, maybe she's opened up her mind and she's, I hope, escaped her bubble and her privilege. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know.
Or is she profiting off of the scandal by doing this?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm just curious. Okay, so we do have a couple of celebs who are expecting. Did you hear? Kylie Jenner announced on Instagram that she is pregnant with her second child. Kylie posted a video showing her at the doctor's office and revealing her ultrasound pics to her mom, Kris Jenner, who was clearly thrilled. And comedian John Mulaney revealed that he and actress Olivia Munn, who's just on the show, are also going to be parents. John broke the news to Seth Meyers on his talk show. He and Olivia, by the way, started dating a few months after he got out of rehab. At the time, John had also just separated from his wife of 6 years. What do you think, Tori? You're shaking your head.
There's a little scandal here, and it's just all speculation. I love John Mulaney. I think he's an excellent, excellent comic, and I know he went to rehab and became sober, and I think that's fantastic. He often mentioned his wife in his stand-up, and they were a team, and their dog was part of it, and it was a whole thing. All of a sudden, during rehab somehow, Olivia Munn, who years earlier said she really likes John Mulaney, always wanted to date him, they kind of start dating. Then she shows up and might be pregnant, and now the ex-wife is like, did I just get dropped for this? So there's a little scandal here. I wish them all the best. But I worry that in recovery, and you know, you don't want to jump into too many things. This seems like a lot of things to jump into.
It is. It is. And I think there's a tendency to try and bury yourself with new things that'll take your mind off of whatever issue that you're dealing with. And I wish him all the best. He was sober for a long time up until then, so he has a track record that he can do this. But it's a lot to take on. And sometimes stress can push you forward or pull you back. So here's nothing but the best for John and Olivia.
Okay. Well, it looks like speaking of relationships, Kristen Cavallari has blocked her former friend Jana Kramer on social media. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Jana had been confiding in Kristen over her divorce from Mike Cosson this past spring, but then, get this is where the controversy starts. Jana reportedly just went on a date with Kristen's ex, Jay Cutler, so Kristen feels like this was a total stab in the back by Jana. We actually just got a in the back of the studio. Kristen and Jay were together for 10 years and announced they were divorcing last spring. Now, Jana and Mike finalized their divorce in July after 6 years of marriage.
I can't even follow this story. There's so many.
It's very easy to follow, Tori. Come on.
Wait,
it's very easy.
Break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
Well, basically, Kristen Cavallari and Jana Kramer did what a lot of people do, especially when it comes to people in a certain industry or social groupings. You start to find someone who you have a shared experience with, and you divulge too much before you have that real cloak of security in a friendship. And ultimately, this happens all the time, whether it's someone who, I know for me personally, when I went through a divorce, it changed my friendships. It changed all of our friendships, because the truth is, while you might have friends and you might bring them into certain things about your life, there's a different set of rules when you are splitting up with someone. And not to say that people have to choose sides, because I don't believe in that, but you cannot insert yourself in any capacity, whether it's dating or trying to mediate or all these things, because you're playing a game where you don't know all the rules. Now, this is very interesting because now Jana decided to go out on a date with Jay, which really tells you where she felt Kristen was in the whole friendship grouping to begin with.
It's not where she felt she was, Erica. It's where she was. They were not friends. We throw the word. Sam, we throw the word around friends.
Would you date a friend's ex?
Too much. Absolutely not, because they're my real friend. But I think a lot of times, human beings, as a species, we cannot tell who's your friend and who's somebody you're cool with. Somebody you're cool with, you can have drinks with. Somebody that's your friend will tell you that you're drinking too much. That's a real friend. You can do anything you want with somebody you're cool with.
What if they were real friends?
They couldn't be. It's too short of a time. They don't have any history. Does she know her mama's name?
Maybe.
Has she been to a family function? Have they had a fight and recovered from it?
Well,
have they had a difficult discussion? I doubt it. They've probably confided in each other. They've had wine with each other.
Ooh,
but the real difficult moments, difficult moments when it's inconvenient, when you need to go pick somebody up from the airport at 4:30 in the morning during a snowstorm, that's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you're cool with.
I wouldn't even be okay with if I was like cool with someone and going out to drinks with someone and then they start dating my ex. I'm not cool with that.
You wouldn't be cool with it, but that's a lesson that you have in your arsenal. And I think we all have to learn lessons like that. When it comes down to affairs of the heart and money, that's the fastest way to learn.
Yeah, I would never do it to my friend or to someone even an acquaintance. I would stay away. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right, Tori?
Like a stranger, I wouldn't. I completely agree. It's just there's a circular code of shield of power you don't cross.
That's your code. Not this person you're cool with code. Right, and I believe you guys, but other people are like, hey,
I feel
cute.
No. Okay, so a new study suggests the real reason some of us choose to use self-checkout at the grocery store. So the survey conducted on behalf of Kroger found that 2 in 5 people use the self-checkout to avoid cashiers who may judge their purchases.
I'm judging that purchase. What is she buying, a silver can with holes in it?
Well, get this, 40% of Americans said they buy healthy items at the supermarket just to make sure they're not judged. What, Tori?
It's just so, like, I'm a people pleaser, but this is taking it to a whole other level. Like, who cares? Those people, let me tell you, a lot of them are my friends. I've worked with them. They don't care. They don't care that you're buying Oreos and mayo and maybe combining them alone in the dark. They don't care.
I would care about that.
They don't care about that. They don't care. All I'm saying is this. Self-checkout is the worst. You got olives or something, there's no button. You have to call someone, they're just waiting there. People are watching. More people are watching when self-checkout than in the little mail line.
Now you're on to something. I think this is a flawed study.
Yeah.
You don't go to self-checkout to make sure you don't get made fun of. Self-checkout is where everybody comes around to watch you, not understand how to ring in the bananas.
No one knows how to ring in the bananas.
That's exactly.
I'm finding out that my co-host can't locate a barcode and put it in front of the red thing.
It's all the produce.
The produce. I don't know.
That's where they're doing. The produce is the
There's a picture of it on the. You press the picture of the thing in your hand.
You don't know how many
I haven't even thought about maybe young shoppers buying feminine hygiene products, condoms. That's embarrassing for a lot of young shoppers. So
Why are you pronouncing condoms like English is your third language? Condoms. Sexuality. What are you?
I'm just saying. A lot of people get a little shy at the checkout.
That's fair.
Okay. That's coming up on DBL. This is a really chilling true crime chronicles as we look into the death of an Ole Miss college student who pulled the trigger the night of her murder.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay. Oh, cool. Also, Xbox Hater 87 says, I go to self-checkout because they have one cashier. LMAO. Now, I do have to say, with the produce, I agree with Erica. You're supposed to know, like, what a quart or an ounce or a pound of cherries is. I'm not a farmer or an agriculturist.
You put it on the thing and it weighs it.
No, it does?
Because, no.
Wait, it does?
Yeah, it does weigh it for you. It weighs it for you. This is what the problem is, though. you go with a bunch of produce, and then there's people behind you.
You're very anxious.
And everybody, it's like there's no code on there. Like some of it has it, some of it doesn't. Is it organic? I don't know. I just picked it up. Like there's all these other questions. And then really it's also to kind of stabilize the whole dynamic in the grocery store, because there's always one judgy person who's working there, and they look at you like you are the dumbest person on the face of the earth. The dumbest. No. And I'm telling you, this is a stabilizer. Self-checkout is a social stabilizer.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is gonna be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
First, let me talk.
Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
I am such a fan.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Okay.
DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Her death sent shockwaves through the South. The murder of a 21-year-old college student in Mississippi.
Left for dead in the middle of the night, we're taking you back to that night, to the scene of the crime, in today's True Crime Chronicles.
It's the early hours of Saturday morning, July 20th, 2019. A gunman shoots Ole Miss student Allie Kostial 8 times in the stomach, killing her. He leaves her dying at a picnic table near a lake 30 miles from the Ole Miss campus.
Allie was just very fun and outgoing, very friendly girl. I'm just gonna miss the fact that she was always there for me if I needed to talk to her.
Hours later, authorities discover her body. Investigators begin unraveling the events leading up to the murder. Surveillance video shows Allie leaving a bar at 11:52 p.m. Friday night before entering a rideshare. Media outlets then uncover footage of Allie at a convenience store early Saturday morning. In the video, she is seen with a man. Police quickly identify him as one Brandon Thesfeld. On Sunday, police reach out to Brandon, who they learn is a classmate of Allie's. He initially agrees to talk to them, but later that day tells them he is uncomfortable answering questions as he has been drinking. Brandon tells police he will meet them on Monday instead. However, he flees the state. Cell phone and credit card data lead police to a gas station in Memphis, where they apprehend Brandon. Police take him into custody, finding a Glock pistol among Brandon's belongings. Ballistic tests reveal that his pistol is the murder weapon.
Hearing these things about him it makes you scared and not want to trust anybody that you meet.
The next day, prosecutors charge Brandon with murder. But why did Brandon kill Allie? A damning trail of digital evidence paints a chilling picture of his motives. Allie had dated Brandon on and off, but Brandon reportedly never took their relationship seriously. Several months before the murder, Allie sent him a photo of an inconclusive pregnancy test. In a state of panic and believing a pregnancy would ruin his life, Brandon searched methods of abortion before turning to darker intents. Police find evidence that Brandon researched how Ted Bundy lured his victims.
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
Investigators also uncover cell phone data that shows both Brandon and Allie arriving at the site of the murder, but only Brandon leaving. The evidence is irrefutable. Over 2 years after killing Allie Kostial, Brandon Thesfeld pleads guilty to her murder.
Brandon will spend the rest of his life in prison, and tragically, Allie turned out not to be pregnant. We wanted to learn more about the case, so we talked to Casey Nolan, a local journalist at KSDK in St. Louis, who covered the story. Casey, thank you so much for being here. Tell us about Allie and Brandon's relationship. Did they get along? Were there a lot of fights? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's been described as on again, off again. Somewhat romantic, but never was a long-term relationship. And the things we've heard in court was that she was more interested in a relationship than he was. And then at some point, she reached out to him, sent him a picture of an inconclusive pregnancy test, and said, we got to talk. And that's when he started cutting off communication with her.
That was the trigger.
I mean, I don't think it'll be going out on a limb to say that he was a nefarious character. So can you tell our viewers, Casey, what was Brandon's home life like?
Well, in his own words, he was no good. He left a letter for his parents saying, it's not your fault. If you're reading this, I'm either dead or going to prison, and that something has just always been off with me. I'm just a bad person.
He feels there's something wrong with him. When the police arrested him, though, Casey, Brandon said he was innocent. So why did he write that letter, I guess, and why do you think he pled guilty, and why say he was innocent? Do you think he was in shock, maybe?
Well, I mean, I don't think this was the most well-laid plans for a crime, right? Like, I guess in the beginning he thought he might be able to get away with it, but I guess you could say the digital evidence just really piled up on him. They were able to track his phone and her phone to where her body was found. They were able to look at his internet searches for things like silencers. And I'm not making this up, this is in court. How did Ted Bundy lure his victims is one of the things he searched for. He searched for how to get an abortion early on when she first told him about what she thought was a possible pregnancy. And so then after he shot and killed her, left her on a picnic bench by a lake where kids would go party, he started searching how to scan for police scanners, how to listen to police scanners in that area. So in the beginning, he may have thought he could get away with it to some degree, but the evidence seems to be overwhelming.
That picnic table is the thing that frightens me. The contradiction between her body and the picnic table is so sad. Go ahead, Alsa.
No, it's a lot. I mean, the case is closed, but is it closed for the community? Like, how's the community doing, and have they moved on?
The community at Ole Miss still makes an effort to remember her. They've held other events in the last past few months to remember her. Her family, we have not heard much more from. We had made some contact with them through friends of the family. But in court, they had a statement that was read by the family, and they said they refused to let her be defined by how she died. They talked a lot about how, she had an Instagram account was almost exclusively sunsets, that she just liked beautiful things. They remember the beauty she brought to the world, what an innocent and loving child she was, who liked reading Little House on the Prairie. And so they're trying to hold on to the memories of her that don't have anything to do with that picnic table, like you mentioned.
Yeah, wow, sunsets. I'll think of Allie. Well, we covered the broad strokes on the case here on the show, but trust me, there's so much more to it. So if you'd like to get those details, go to ksdk.com. We've also covered Allie's story on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find where podcasts are all streaming. Casey, thank you. It is always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for bringing her story to light. Thanks again, Casey.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Thank you both.
We all know that movement is like medicine, but getting the movement you need to feel better.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. If you are a parent, listen up. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So the IRS has a warning for parents getting the expanded child tax credit. Scammers are sending fake messages via email, phone, or social media telling parents there's a problem with their tax credit and asking for your personal information. So to stay safe, here are some things to note. The IRS will never contact you via email, text, phone call, or social media. They will never leave you a voicemail, and they will never ask you to verify personal or financial information. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Oh man, I wanted to point out that Tori wasn't at the desk, but we're gotta go. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
Self-checkout is what everyone wanted to talk about.
What are they saying?
Donnie, thank you for writing in. Donnie says, I work at a grocery store and we don't judge people, so you got to get over yourself. That's good. Thank you, Donnie. Shout out to Donnie. And also Serena says, I hate self-checkout. If I'm spending $200, I'm not bagging too.
What? I bag even when I go to a person.
I always bag.
I like to bag.
It's like
it's
Tetris.
satisfying.
Put all the frozen goods together, yes.
Just bag it. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees at factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the country's largest Confederate monuments is gone now. Was taking down the Robert E. Lee statue the right move, or did history just get erased? The in-flight meltdown you have to see to believe. Plus, too skimpy for the sky? Why passengers seem to be wearing less and less on airplanes? In today's True Crime Chronicles, the mystery surrounding an Ole Miss student's death. What caused the killer to pull the trigger?
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
And back to the ballroom with a former Spice Girl, a Real Housewife, and Lori Loughlin's daughter. Is this the most controversial season of Dancing with the Stars yet?
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, September 8th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. So a lot of our viewers, a lot of you are talking about this. Workers removed one of the country's largest Confederate statues today. This 21-foot statue of Robert E. Lee towered over the main boulevard in Richmond, Virginia since 1890. Now, the debate over removing Confederate monuments really heated up following the death of George Floyd last year. And DBL Nation, we always want to hear what you think. In your opinion, should the statue have been removed? Yes or no? Go to dblvote.com, weigh in. What do you think, Al?
I mean, a lot of people, you know, we hear this, it goes both ways. It's like, look, he was an insurrectionist. He fought against our country. They tried to secede from the Union. He killed a lot of Americans. He should not be celebrated in this way. Other people say you're erasing history, but I've often found that the people that use the whole erasing history argument are also against critical race theory, which is about trying to teach history. So it's this weird thing where we kind of want to teach history when it's advantageous to our point, but when we want to start talking about how we got to this point in 2021, we go, let's literally not teach slavery in school. So it's a weird dynamic, Tori, to say the least.
Yeah, it is really weird. I just like to say that, like, when I went and visited Germany, in Berlin and Munich, which was weird for me because as a Jew, I was kind of super nervous, to be honest.
That's honest.
I'll be honest. My mom was like kind of weirded out. They have 0 statues of anything to do with Hitler or Nazis. They've made that a rule. But let me tell you something. Those Germans know about World War II and what happened. It is taught in their class because they realize Berlin school children didn't know. So you can teach history by not elevating someone on a pedestal on a horse who didn't become a traitor to our nation. That's how I feel.
Well, and I think that's the key word, elevation.
Right.
We have to remember why these statues were put into place and when they were put into place. It was an intimidation tactic. Yes. It was about basically a PR revamp for the Civil War and why it was fought to begin with.
Right.
They wanted to take the slavery out of it because people started to understand that the slavery was just icky to people.
Bad for business.
But I really want to take this moment to highlight someone. Her name is Ziana Bryant. Ziana was 15 when she started the petition to remove Robert E. Lee's statue in her hometown of Charlottesville. Now, she is passing the mic today to Race Capital, who is actually putting boots on the ground and doing amazing work in the initiative, and she wanted to give that amplification to the natives. But I think it's very important because often, and I've had a couple times to speak with Ziana, and the interesting thing is while she was only 15 when she started this petition, she was essentially outed. Her full name was given by a news source without her knowledge, and she was very much harassed for a long period of time.
Couldn't imagine.
And she is so dynamic. I follow her on social media because she is doing really great things, and your name will not be erased from this story, Ziana, and we celebrate you as well as Race Capital and all of the people who are putting in so much effort in order to make a more progressive society.
And let me just, really powerful, I'm glad that you brought her up. I want to just bring in some comments really quickly. From the Mike variant, interesting name, on Twitter, Richmond still has 1 in 4 living in poverty. Glad their woke virtual signaling politicians have their priorities straight there. And then Oxford's Not Brogues said no one is erasing history. Robert E. Lee will be long remembered without a statue. All right, and it looks like 63% of you say no. Should the Robert E. Lee statue have been taken down? You say no. Wow. Okay, so we've got some good news when it comes to Americans getting vaccinated. The CDC is saying that 75% of adults in the U.S. have received at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. But we're not so sure this next woman is among them. Check out what she did after running into a masked woman at a grocery store.
Excuse me, I'm coming through.
Why don't you have a mask on?
Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Okay,
It's my allergies.
You
I
don't
have
know
allergies.
who's sick or not.
But on the other side of things, a substitute teacher in Las Vegas has been accused of taping a mask to a 9-year-old's face after he got up to get a drink of water and forgot to put his mask on. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Both situations are unfortunate. What would you say, Al, especially being a former teacher?
You know, you should not touch a student in any way, and to publicly humiliate a child like that for doing something as simple as forgetting to put their mask on, which every adult is done to do when they, you know, run out of the building to go to their car for a second. It just happens.
Yeah.
So again, I think that teacher had an agenda, and obviously this woman coughing is just a different level of foul, and I don't understand. I would have never seen this coming, Sam. If this was 2014, and somebody was just coughing over the bananas at the grocery store, think about how insane that would look. But for somebody to do that now, where people's lives are literally, I mean, you have to look at you, Sam. It blows my mind.
I don't think people realize when they post memes about masks being ridiculous, or COVID isn't real, or it's overblown. They don't realize the suffering. They don't realize, even though my brother has 2 new lungs, they don't realize that he's I can't even formulate thoughts right now. I really can't. Just know, if you doubt it for a second, go to the ER for a day, go to the ICU for the day, talk to a family member. Erica lost a family member.
What your emotion is completely real, Sam, and that's the thing. It's the desensitization, because people are only ready to address things as they are being affected by them. I can have a civil discourse, I can have a back and forth with someone when you're respecting the fact that while you're telling me all of the things that you believe to be facts, and I'm doing the same with you, but you aren't negating the fact that I have seen real loss in more than one way. Because think about the stats of suicide as well in the past year and a half. People have been affected by this in so many ways. So the moment that you diminish your pain, your family's pain and trauma, in order to prove your point, we have nothing to talk about. And that's just where we are.
Well said. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys, we wanted to actually ask you, if you did go to dblvote.com and wrote that you don't think the Robert E. Lee statue should be taken down, we'd love to hear from you on YouTube or Twitter or the DBL app, or email us, info@dailyblastlive.com. What's the reason you think it needs to be kept up if, for instance, in other countries, they can still teach without having the statues be up?
Tori, I thought Erica's point was really interesting, which I'll admit I did not know. Michael Dean, our producer, told me. And I think that just goes to show that we need critical race theory. The fact that I obviously knew that Robert E. Lee was a bad man, right? But I did not know that when his statue was erected, that they did it specifically for a PR, like rebranding, so they could somehow twist it to, this is a man that's a hero fighting for our states' rights, not this was a man that fought for slavery. They were very particular back then on how they were going to word things, because even in 1890, they started to see some pushback.
Think about Jim Crow, too. They're revamping that. It's just racist laws.
It kind of gets a little bit deeper than that, because you have to understand, like, after the war was fought, there was a decision made, almost like after World War II, where we decided we were going to build the people we fought back up rather than letting them come back. But along with that, we allowed Confederate generals to be in Congress, to vote. And because of that, we started to see, instead of a reconstruction of the South, which was our golden window to kind of recreate what we think of as the American South, it kind of just stayed and hovered. So then we had this weird conversation about states' rights rather than slavery. We have these statues erected 50, 60 years later after the actual battle. And now I think, Tori, because you hear this all the time with the Holocaust, people don't understand what they're saying. So they're like, oh, it's just as bad as the Holocaust. Me putting this mask on is like slavery.
Yeah,
and because I don't think people are taught.
They're never sacrificing.
What happened, the murders, the castration, like the horrible things that happened. So they just think waiting in line at CVS is just like the Holocaust.
Yeah, you need to sacrifice in a modern society.
Welcome back to DBL. Well, it's that time of the week where we share more airline madness video. That's how frequent this is happening.
Time of the week.
I know. Embarrassing. Up first, a Las Vegas man has been arrested for intoxication and disorderly conduct after he yelled and growled at passengers on board an American Airlines flight. It's almost like something you would see out of The Walking Dead. Take a look.
You can't hold us. We're not on the ground, sir. Sit. Yes, we are. We're only grounded. Sit. You see anyone else getting up? Sit. You sit down in that seat, you stay. Don't bite it. Really?
Wow.
No fly list. Just like I'm with Jeff on this. He says just ban him. This man want to act like a child, then you get a consequence and no more. He came up to the captain. The captain, he said, you sit down. The idea of people just getting intoxication rights or citations really bothers me. I just think we need a stricter penalty.
For sure. I think that the other passengers should be able to sue someone for the disorderly conduct that not only held them in a hostage situation in the air because you don't know what this lunatic is going to do next, but also, I mean, people could have had anxiety attacks,
emotional distress,
based on
absolutely.
this, and the idea that like flying is not inexpensive. So now you're going wherever you're going using your hard-earned money, and the whole time you're sitting there hoping that you land safely because this man wants to show his whole self?
I mean, you know, I'm looking at that video and I'm thinking, first of all, my seatbelt is unbuckled because I know that I'm going to have to tackle this guy at some point. And it looked, I mean, he's at the cockpit.
He is at, look at the wall. They put that wall up to stop him.
At this point, and so I do like the idea of people being able to sue. We've seen that you're able to sue other people based on other Supreme Court decisions this week.
Yeah, because what if you're about to go to the to a funeral? What if you're going to your daughter's graduation? Like the fact that you said that you have to stay there and you're not, and it completely derails your entire plans. I think we need much more strict penalties. Yes, Tori. A few videos have gone viral showing what people are wearing or getting in trouble for wearing on planes. Okay, so here's one example. This woman is at a terminal in a bikini and just a face mask. Okay. Meantime, this woman from a viral TikTok says she was kicked off a flight because her outfit was too revealing even after she put this shirt over her sports bra. Now, lots of videos like these have gone viral showing that women get in trouble for wearing or showing what they get in trouble for wearing on planes. The question is this appropriate? And is it your right to wear whatever you want, or should too much skin get you booted? You're shaking your head.
Look, I'm all for wearing, and I do think women get body shamed, but if you're wearing a bikini or a ton of skin and you're next to me, we're touching. And as you said, we're kind of trapped in a tube here. That's a lot of sanitation, hygiene thing I don't like.
Honestly.
I got to be honest. So, and if you get to the bathroom, I'm looking at your, whoa, okay.
Right, I mean, we've been accused on this panel of being too liberal, and there are two people, and I'm like, do what you do, Sammy, do what you do, Tori. But when it starts to invade, when your skin starts to touch mine or my child, who I might be traveling with, male or female, cover up the skin. Like no tank tops. I'm fine with that.
Especially during a pandemic.
Right? Yes, yeah.
Just make sure it's applied to both genders.
Absolutely.
Make sure, because I'm with you. I think you need to have discernment. Some women.
And mandals too, because I mean they stink.
Okay, now you're just
what's a mandal?
What's a mandal? Now you're just going based on preference.
What's a mandal?
A man sandal.
Yes, I'm fine. I'll change the genders there. I'm fine with women wearing sandals. Men, they got just funk right from the bottom. And there's open holes for it to escape.
Okay, all right, enough. Coming up on DBL, you guys, she became a member of the Mickey Mouse Club at age 12, working with everyone from Justin Timberlake to Britney Spears. We were talking with actress Nikki DeLoach live about growing up in the spotlight and her latest Hallmark movie. That is coming up next.
If you're eligible for Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
You know, I find that just doing the same thing over and over and over again without having an emotional connection doesn't really work.
I would say if there's an actual emotional connection, then you don't need to learn, you just know.
I love her. Welcome back to DBL. That was a scene from Taking the Reins, starring my dear friend Nikki DeLoach. And as we get closer to the holidays, you can expect to see more of her on the Hallmark Channel. Nikki, welcome to DBL.
Yeah, Nikki!
Sam, I just want to take your face and just squeeze you and hug.
I just want to squeeze you. Okay, so you.
I love you so much, and I watched the show. I started watching obviously because of you, Sam, but then I stayed because it's so good. I love watching you guys, so I'm really happy to be on.
I love you so much. Okay, so before we get to your latest Hallmark movie, you know I'm a huge Hallmark movie fan, right? I've watched all of your Hallmark movies. Let's talk about your big break, which has always blown my mind. The Mickey Mouse Club. How iconic. So that show launched some major pop stars. You worked closely with Britney Spears, and it was just announced that her father has filed to end her conservatorship. So what surprised you most about the Free Britney movement?
First of all, I'm so grateful for the Free Britney movement. They advocated for her. Someone had to advocate for her. She didn't have a lawyer advocating for her. She didn't have family advocating for her. You know, so I'm just so grateful to them that they put a megaphone on this, because, I mean, it's just a heartbreaking situation. Women should ever be restricted from making decisions about her own body, held against her will, or not be given access to her own money. This has been 13 years. I mean, she just back.
I love this girl. Out of the Mouseketeer, excuse me, you've remained close with JT, Justin Timberlake. So what makes him such a great friend? And what do you say to people who think maybe he's gotten like too big for NSYNC? You know what I'm saying? What would you say?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Listen, he's family. He's like a brother there for me any time in my entire life that I've ever needed a shoulder. And I just absolutely love him. He is the hardest working person that I know. And he's just so incredibly talented, but also his heart is so big and so beautiful. And him and Jess are just, I just love them so very, very, very much. So there's going to be people out there that are going to say, they're going to say whatever they want to say. But, you know, I get to see him in his life every day. And I can just, all I know is that he's an incredible friend. And I'm so blessed to have him in my life, him and Jess.
It's good to know.
Well, Nikki, many people also know you from your heartwarming Hallmark movies. Your new movie, Taking the Reins, is about a woman who rediscovers herself after divorce. This is a story I can reconcile with. What made this project special for you?
Come back.
I love that. Well, there was a bunch of stuff that made this project for me, and I'll get a little personal. That's okay. You know, for one of the characters in this movie was created based on my grandfather, and it's the character that Corbin Burnson plays, him, my dad. So his whole character was modeled after my grandfather, and so it's just a little tribute to him. But also, it was the first movie that me and my writing / producing, look at my dad, / producing partner, we developed and created together for Hallmark. I've produced for them before. It's the first one we did together. And we met, oh gosh, years ago. We were in acting class together. And she also was in the movie as an actor. And it was so weird to just go from like being in acting class, not being able to like buy fresh fruit sometimes. And then all of a sudden we're sitting on set and we're in a scene together and the cameras are on. And I just kept thinking, Megan, this is insane. I can't believe that you and I are here. We're doing this together. And we had an incredible female director, female producers behind this, an incredible cast. It was just so blessed and graced from the get. And, you know, this was a hard movie for me to make. You know, I made this movie while my dad was, you know, in the last month of his life. Right. And just be surrounded by such incredible people, and we all just poured all of ourselves into it. It definitely had some magic sprinkled over it.
Yeah, and Nikki, you mentioned your dad. We showed a picture of your dad. I just have to tell you what incredible work you have done in honor of your dad and Alzheimer's. I know that you have this big walk coming up on November 6th to our viewers, because Nikki, a lot of our viewers have become personal, almost like friends to us. And a lot of our viewers have also gone through Alzheimer's with family members. So to our viewers out there, follow Nikki DeLoach, follow what she's doing. She really is making change. And also make sure you check out Taking the Reins. It premieres September 25th, of course, on the Hallmark Channel. I love you so much, Nikki. Keep up the good work. We love you.
I love you. You too, Sam. You too. All of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I enjoy
Nikki.
you.
Bye, Nikki.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot.
Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We've got a couple of viral videos of two men who've been accused of faking getting hit by cars, okay? Cameras on this Tesla caught a man who can be seen falling over and appearing like he's hurt, even though the car never actually hit him. Police have arrested him and say he admitted to making the whole thing up. Now, check out this one, okay? A man very dramatically appears to fake getting hit by a white van. Yeah, he even rolls over the hood before falling to the ground. This happened to me on La Brea Avenue in LA with a person on a crosswalk.
They did the...
I actually thought I hit them. Yeah. And then when I leaned over and gave him a kiss on the forehead because I really thought I hit him, he admitted to me that he made it up.
Kiss on the forehead?
Oh, what did you
kissed him on the forehead?
I thought he was... We'll get to it. If you're leaving the second half
DMV
of the
Snow
show
White.
Online, watch on YouTube, DailyBlastLive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's... I felt bad
like
for
a pulse
him.
on the...
Yes, I thought I hit a man. Celebrity baby news. The big announcements from Kylie Jenner and Olivia Munn. Plus, going back to the ballroom, we're going to talk about the latest cast that just was announced in Dancing with the Stars. Next. Daily Blast Live is kicking off our 5th year, and we're not slowing down. So get ready for more DBL this fall. DBL is always all new every day.
Mondelez, the company behind popular snacks like Ritz crackers, Chips Ahoy, and Oreo, is facing major backlash amid contract negotiations with workers. Hundreds of employees at factories in Richmond, Chicago, and Aurora, Colorado are on strike. Union reps claim a new contract being pushed by the snack giant, which owns Nabisco, would make changes to their overtime policy that would leave them working longer hours for less pay. The media organization More Perfect Union, which advocates for workers' rights and policy change, estimated that some workers could stand to lose up to $40,000 per year in future wages if the changes go through. Meanwhile, some workers are putting in 12 to 16-hour days to meet increased demand amid the pandemic. Striking workers are also voicing concerns about the company's outsourcing of labor and underfunding pensions. Mondelez says they are working with union leaders to reach a solution, but right now neither side appears to be backing down.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Erica, and Tori. Let's get started. Ooh, the lineup for the new season of Dancing with the Stars was announced earlier today.
Am I on it?
You're not, but you should be, although I have seen you dance, so maybe not.
It's terrible.
It ain't that good. As we mentioned, Olivia Jade has been confirmed as one of the stars, and former Bachelor Matt James was also added to the list. Beverly Hills 90210 star Brian Austin Green will make his debut on the dance floor. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore, just filed for divorce, so maybe we can expect to see some revenge dancing. You never know. Sporty Spice Mel C is also a contestant this season, and I wonder if any of the other Spice Girls will show up in the audience, possibly. Also, the Karate Kid's Martin Love, or Cove rather, who also plays Sensei John Kreese in Cobra Kai. What a surprise. As was Peloton cycling director Cody Rigsby, but he's a fan favorite instructor who has a huge following on social media. So a lot of people believe that he's going to take the win, but what do you, can we go back to Olivia Jade? Because there's a lot of controversy surrounding her. Do you think she should have been cast?
I think I'm watching that. I'm watching for it between her, Matt James, and Cody Rigsby. Those are the stories, because people are going to see if the Peloton audience will translate to broadcast. We're going to get a temperature check on how people are feeling about Olivia Jade, and Matt James is really the person to watch because the same network for The Bachelor, and people want to know the person who has been, by like people who are totally into this, like, oh, we brought this season, brought down the franchise or whatever. People are going to be looking to see how people feel about, are they rooting for him or are they rooting against him? So those are the three I'm really watching for.
I know what you mean, and I am watching for Olivia Jade, but my thing is this: if she performs and does like a, I don't know, like a cha-cha, what do you do, a paso dobles? Once she's done, do you like clap for Olivia? Like, it's weird to like, for me to elevate someone who like, she kind of did stuff wrong, and that's why she's famous. I guess she was a YouTube tutorial.
But she was also a teenager.
True.
Not, believe me, I'm not removing blame from her, but I place the blame on the parents specifically.
But could you root for Olivia Jade, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's my question, is who's going to root for her? Because I feel like this demo's a little bit older for her. I feel like her shot was when she went on Red Table Talk and she had her chance to really be cathartic there. It did not go well.
It did not.
I don't know about that.
I don't think, well, I don't
Did you watch the whole episode?
I watched most of it. I'm not watching the whole thing. I have a life.
They called her out, especially Gammy,
that's what
and
I'm saying.
she took it.
No, I'm not.
She
but
took
she
it.
didn't come out of that, and I'm feeling absolved, and I felt like she was ready to move on. I felt like she's in this weird limbo now, Sam, where she's lost a lot of followers, but she's still kind of famous, and now she's going to this other genre where it's probably a demo that is probably 20 years older than would be interested in what she's doing. So where does she go from here?
I actually want to see what she's done, because in Red Table Talk she made it very clear that she wants her actions to speak louder than her words. So what has she done? If she has really tried hard to make a comeback using Erica Cobb's words, and she's earned that comeback by doing some philanthropic work that none of us are aware of, maybe she's opened up her mind and she's, I hope, escaped her bubble and her privilege. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know.
Or is she profiting off of the scandal by doing this?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm just curious. Okay, so we do have a couple of celebs who are expecting. Did you hear? Kylie Jenner announced on Instagram that she is pregnant with her second child. Kylie posted a video showing her at the doctor's office and revealing her ultrasound pics to her mom, Kris Jenner, who was clearly thrilled. And comedian John Mulaney revealed that he and actress Olivia Munn, who's just on the show, are also going to be parents. John broke the news to Seth Meyers on his talk show. He and Olivia, by the way, started dating a few months after he got out of rehab. At the time, John had also just separated from his wife of 6 years. What do you think, Tori? You're shaking your head.
There's a little scandal here, and it's just all speculation. I love John Mulaney. I think he's an excellent, excellent comic, and I know he went to rehab and became sober, and I think that's fantastic. He often mentioned his wife in his stand-up, and they were a team, and their dog was part of it, and it was a whole thing. All of a sudden, during rehab somehow, Olivia Munn, who years earlier said she really likes John Mulaney, always wanted to date him, they kind of start dating. Then she shows up and might be pregnant, and now the ex-wife is like, did I just get dropped for this? So there's a little scandal here. I wish them all the best. But I worry that in recovery, and you know, you don't want to jump into too many things. This seems like a lot of things to jump into.
It is. It is, and I think there's a tendency to try and bury yourself with new things that'll take your mind off of whatever issue that you're dealing with. And I wish him all the best. He was sober for a long time up until then, so he has a track record that he can do this. But it's a lot to take on, and sometimes stress can push you forward or pull you back. So here's nothing but the best for John and Olivia.
Okay. Well, it looks like speaking of relationships, Kristen Cavallari has blocked her former friend Jana Kramer on social media. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Jana had been confiding in Kristen over her divorce from Mike Cosson this past spring, but then, get this, this is where the controversy starts. Jana reportedly just went on a date with Kristen's ex, Jay Cutler, so Kristen feels like this was a total stab in the back by Jana. We actually just got a in the back of the studio. Kristen and Jay were together for 10 years and announced they were divorcing last spring. Now, Jana and Mike finalized their divorce in July after 6 years of marriage.
I can't even follow this story.
It's very easy to follow, Tori. Come on.
Wait,
it's very easy.
Break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
Well, basically, Kristen Cavallari and Jana Kramer did what a lot of people do, especially when it comes to people in a certain industry or social like groupings. You start to find someone who you have a shared experience with, and you divulge too much before you have that real cloak of security in a friendship. And ultimately, this happens all the time, whether it's someone who, I mean, I know for me personally, when I went through a divorce, it changed my friendships. It changed all of our friendships, because the truth is, while you might have friends and you might bring them into certain things about your life, there's a different set of rules when you are splitting up with someone. And not to say that people have to choose sides, because I don't believe in that, but you cannot insert yourself in any capacity, whether it's dating or trying to mediate or all these things, because you're playing a game where you don't know all the rules. Now, this is very interesting, because now Jana decided to go out on a date with Jay, which really tells you where she felt Kristen was in the whole friendship grouping to begin with.
It's not where she felt she was, Erica. It's where she was. They were not friends. We throw the word. Sam, we throw the word around friends.
Would you date a friend's ex?
Too much. Absolutely not, because they're my real friend. But I think a lot of times, human beings, as a species, we cannot tell who's your friend and who's somebody you're cool with. Somebody you're cool with, you can have drinks with. Somebody that's your friend will tell you that you're drinking too much. That's a real friend. You can do anything you want with somebody you're cool with.
What if they were real friends?
They couldn't be. It's too short of a time. They don't have any history. Does she know her mama's name?
Maybe.
Has she been to a family function? Have they had a fight and recovered from it?
Well,
have they had a difficult discussion? I doubt it. They've probably confided in each other. They've had wine with each other. But the real difficult moments, difficult moments when it's inconvenient, when you need to go pick somebody up from the airport at 4:30 in the morning during a snowstorm, that's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you're cool with.
I wouldn't even be okay with if I was like cool with someone and going out to drinks with someone and then they start dating my ex. I'm not cool with that.
You wouldn't be cool with it, but that's a lesson that you have in your arsenal. And I think we all have to learn lessons like that. When it comes down to affairs of the heart and money, that's the fastest way to learn.
Yeah, I would never do it to my friend or to someone even an acquaintance. I would stay away. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right, Tori?
Like a stranger, I wouldn't. I completely agree. It's just there's a circular code of shield of power you don't cross.
But that's your code. Not this person you're cool with code. Right, and I believe you guys, but other people are like, hey,
I feel
no. Okay, so a new study suggests the real reason some of us choose to use self-checkout at the grocery store. So the survey conducted on behalf of Kroger found that 2 in 5 people use the self-checkout to avoid cashiers who may judge their purchases.
I'm judging that purchase. What is she buying, a silver can with holes in it?
Well, get this, 40% of Americans said they buy healthy items at the supermarket just to make sure they're not judged. What, Tori?
It's just so, like, I'm a people pleaser, but this is taking it to a whole other level. Like, who cares? Those people, let me tell you, a lot of them are my friends. I've worked with them. They don't care. They don't care that you're buying Oreos and mayo and maybe combining them alone in the dark. They don't care.
I would care about that.
They don't care about that. They don't care. All I'm saying is this. Self-checkout is the worst. You got olives or something, there's no button. You have to call someone. They're just waiting there. People are watching. More people are watching when self-checkout than in the little mail line.
Now you're on to something. I think this is a flawed study.
Yeah.
You don't go to self-checkout to make sure you don't get made fun of. Self-checkout is where everybody comes around to watch you, not understand how to ring in the bananas.
No one knows how to ring in the bananas.
Exactly.
I'm finding out that my co-host can't locate a barcode and put it in front of the red thing.
It's the produce. The produce.
I don't know.
That's where they're doing. The produce is the
There's a picture of it on the. You press the picture of the thing in your hand.
You don't know how many
I haven't even thought about maybe young shoppers buying feminine hygiene products, condoms. That's embarrassing for a lot of young shoppers. So
are you pronouncing condoms like English is your third language? Condoms. Sexuality. What are you?
I'm just saying. A lot of people get a little shy at the checkout.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Coming up on DBL. This is a really chilling true crime chronicles as we look into the death of an Ole Miss college student who pulled the trigger the night of her murder.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys. guys, we wanted to actually ask you, if you did go to dblvote.com and wrote that you don't think the Robert E. Lee statue should be taken down, we'd love to hear from you on YouTube or Twitter or the DBL app, or email us, info@dailyblastlive.com. What's the reason you think it needs to be kept up if, for instance, in other countries, they can still teach without having the statues be up?
Tori, I thought Erica's point was really interesting, which I'll admit I did not know. Michael Dean, our producer, told me. And I think that just goes to show that we need critical race theory. The fact that I obviously knew that Robert E. Lee was a bad man, right? But I did not know that when his statue was erected that they did it specifically for a PR like rebranding, so they could somehow twist it to, this is a man that's a hero fighting for our states' rights, not this was a man that fought for slavery. They were very particular back then on how they were going to word things, because even in 1890, they started to see some pushback.
Think about Jim Crow, too. They're revamping that. It's just racist laws.
It kind of gets a little bit deeper than that, because you have to understand, like, after the war was fought, there was a decision made, almost like after World War II, where we decided we were going to build our, the people we fought back up rather than letting them come back. But along with that, we allowed Confederate generals to be in Congress, to vote. And because of that, we started to see, instead of a reconstruction of the South, which was our golden window to kind of recreate what we think of as the American South, it kind of just stayed and hovered. So then we had this weird conversation about states' rights rather than slavery. We have these statues erected 50, 60 years later after the actual battle. And now I think, Tori, because you hear this all the time with the Holocaust, people don't understand what they're saying. So they're like, oh, it's just as bad as the Holocaust. Me putting this mask on is like slavery.
Yeah,
and because I don't think people are taught.
They're never sacrificing.
What happened, the murders, the castration, like the horrible things that happened. So they just think waiting in line at CVS is just like the Holocaust.
Yeah, you need to sacrifice in a modern society.
Welcome back to DBL. Her death sent shockwaves through the South. The murder of a 21-year-old college student in Mississippi.
Left for dead in the middle of the night, we're taking you back to that night, to the scene of the crime, in today's True Crime Chronicles.
It's the early hours of Saturday morning, July 20th, 2019. A gunman shoots Ole Miss student Allie Kostial 8 times in the stomach, killing her. He leaves her dying at a picnic table near a lake 30 miles from the Ole Miss campus.
Allie was just very fun and outgoing, very friendly girl. I'm just gonna miss how the fact that she was always there for me if I needed to talk to her.
Hours later, authorities discover her body. Investigators begin unraveling the events leading up to the murder. Surveillance video shows Allie leaving a bar at 11:52 p.m. Friday night before entering a rideshare. Media outlets then uncover footage of Allie at a convenience store early Saturday morning. In the video, she is seen with a man. Police quickly identify him as one Brandon Thesfeld. On Sunday, police reach out to Brandon, who they learn is a classmate of Allie's. He initially agrees to talk to them, but later that day tells them he is uncomfortable answering questions as he has been drinking. Brandon tells police he will meet them on Monday instead. However, he flees the state. Cell phone and credit card data lead police to a gas station in Memphis, where they apprehend Brandon. Police take him into custody, finding a Glock pistol among Brandon's belongings. Ballistic tests reveal that his pistol is the murder weapon.
Hearing these things about him it makes you scared and not want to trust anybody that you meet.
The next day, prosecutors charge Brandon with murder. But why did Brandon kill Allie? A damning trail of digital evidence paints a chilling picture of his motives. Allie had dated Brandon on and off, but Brandon reportedly never took their relationship seriously. Several months before the murder, Allie sent him a photo of an inconclusive pregnancy test. In a state of panic and believing a pregnancy would ruin his life, Brandon searched methods of abortion before turning to darker intents. Police find evidence that Brandon researched how Ted Bundy lured his victims.
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
Investigators also uncover cell phone data that shows both Brandon and Allie arriving at the site of the murder, but only Brandon leaving. The evidence is irrefutable. Over 2 years after killing Allie Kostial, Brandon Thesfeld pleads guilty to her murder.
Brandon will spend the rest of his life in prison, and tragically, Allie turned out not to be pregnant. We wanted to learn more about the case, so we talked to Casey Nolan, a local journalist at KSDK in St. Louis, who covered the story. Casey, thank you so much for being here. Tell us about Allie and Brandon's relationship. Did they get along? Were there a lot of fights? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's been described as on again, off again. Somewhat romantic, but never was a long-term relationship. And the things we've heard in court was that she was more interested in a relationship than he was. And then at some point, she reached out to him, sent him a picture of an inconclusive pregnancy test, and said, we got to talk. And that's when he started cutting off communication with her.
That was the trigger.
I mean, I don't think it'll be going out on a limb to say that he was a nefarious character. So can you tell our viewers, Casey, what was Brandon's home life like?
Well, in his own words, he was no good. He left a letter for his parents saying, it's not your fault. If you're reading this, I'm either dead or going to prison, and that something has just always been off with me. I'm just a bad person.
He feels there's something wrong with him. When the police arrested him, though, Casey, Brandon said he was innocent. So why did he write that letter, I guess, and why do you think he pled guilty, and why say he was innocent? Do you think he was in shock, maybe?
Well, I mean, I don't think this was the most well-laid plans for a crime, right? Like, I guess in the beginning he thought he might be able to get away with it, but I guess you could say the digital evidence just really piled up on him. They were able to track his phone and her phone to where her body was found. They were able to look at his internet searches for things like silencers. And I'm not making this up, this is in court. How did Ted Bundy lure his victims is one of the things he searched for. He searched for how to get an abortion early on when she first told him about what she thought was a possible pregnancy. And so then after he shot and killed her, left her on a picnic bench by a lake where kids would go party, he started searching how to scan for police scanners, how to listen to police scanners in that area. So in the beginning, he may have thought he could get away with it to some degree, but the evidence seems to be overwhelming. Yeah.
That picnic table is the thing that frightens me. The contradiction between her body and the picnic table is so sad. Go ahead, Al.
No, it's a lot. I mean, the case is closed, but is it closed for the community? Like, how's the community doing, and have they moved on?
The community at Ole Miss still makes an effort to remember her. They've held other events in the last, past few months to remember her. Her family, we have not heard much more from. We had made some contact with them through friends of the family. But in court, they had a statement that was read by the family, and they said they refused to let her be defined by how she died. They talked a lot about how, she had an Instagram account was almost exclusively sunsets, that she just liked beautiful things. They remember the beauty she brought to the world, what an innocent and loving child she was, who liked reading Little House on the Prairie. And so they're trying to hold on to the memories of her that don't have anything to do with that picnic table, like you mentioned.
Yeah, wow, sunsets. I'll think of Allie. Well, we covered the broad strokes on the case here on the show, but trust me, there's so much more to it. So if you'd like to get those details, go to ksdk.com. We've also covered Allie's story on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find where podcasts are all streaming. Casey, thank you. It is always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for bringing her story to light. Thanks again, Casey.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Thank you both.
find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. If you are a parent, listen up. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So the IRS has a warning for parents getting the expanded child tax credit. Scammers are sending fake messages via email, phone, or social media telling parents there's a problem with their tax credit and asking for your personal information. So to stay safe, here are some things to note. The IRS will never contact you via email, text, phone call, or social media. They will never leave you a voicemail, and they will never ask you to verify personal or financial information. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Oh man, I wanted to point out that Tori wasn't at the desk, but we're gotta go. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. It would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
Self-checkout is what everyone wanted to talk about.
What are they saying?
Donnie, thank you for writing in. Donnie says, I work at a grocery store and we don't judge people, so you got to get over yourself. That's good. Thank you, Donnie. Shout out to Donnie. And also Serena says, I hate self-checkout. If I'm spending $200, I'm not bagging too.
What? I bag even when I go to a person.
I always bag.
I like to bag.
It's like
satisfying.
Put all the frozen goods together, yes.
Just bag it. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.